My one buddy, I won't say his name, but he's on a news show. His initials are TC, very popular. You know, he started talking about how much money we've been sent. Tucker Carlson, fuck it. So he's talking about how much money, and these are not we have Republicans voting for this stuff. It's not like this is strong arm Democratic bill that gets passed by Uncle Joe. This is a bipartisan effort to fund Ukraine.
Michael Spear!
My man.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been too long. We do this once a year, something like that?
Yeah. I think there was maybe a year off. Maybe?
Something like that.
It wasn't too long.
The OG fans know exactly who you are. You're
cool.
A very famous guest of the show at this point.
Yeah, no, I love it being on here. It's fun.
But for people who don't know who you are, can you tell them what you do and what kind of ambulances you chase?
Yeah, no, I haven't chased an ambulance. But personal injury lawyer. Barred in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Trial attorney, casual drinker. That's about
Ain't nothing casual about it,
I can
man.
tell you about. Speaking of which,
so, my friend, have you been honking your horn for Biden? That's what I need to know.
no, I kind of took a break.
You took a break.
Politics, watching politics. The PA elections killed me.
How specifically?
Well, I mean, you had kind of two shitty candidates, in Oz and Fetterman, and then one, it became clear that, character aside, he was like physically incapable of actually, performing the job duty. I think I don't know who said it. It was somebody. One of the older head actors chimed in, and he was like, "Well, if Fetterman was your pilot, are you getting on that plane?" You know what I mean? And I thought that was like kind of funny, obviously, but also a legitimate point. I don't know that he's going to be able to get the job done. And then you have Oz, who's if you're a PA fence voter and you're looking at this guy, is he really going to go to DC and have PA's interest? I don't know.
No,
I don't know. So I get it. It was a bad election, but I fucking walked down to the American Museum of the Revolution in Philly and cast my ballot with all the 85-year-old women, and it didn't get me anywhere. So fuck it.
Didn't get you anywhere.
No.
Did you vote for Mastriano?
No.
All right, good to admit.
I know that's hard to say. Maybe your fans are going to clap to that, but I know there are people in my circle who are really pissed off, and it's not because it's because that one ad with I was telling Chris that where they have Mastriano getting this sword of Excalibur from QAnon or whatever it was. That was like that was where I said no. Let's just let Shapiro get a run at this.
Yeah, not that the guy hadn't lost me already, but I think when he said like you have to have your rape baby, that was pretty historic for me as far as not the guy. But it just seems to me like the whole and cheers by the way.
Oh,
good to fucking see you.
Yep, good to see you, man.
It does seem to me like the whole election cycle this year. When you look at let's get this around. We got multiple people in here. The whole election cycle we just had was the weakest slew of candidates from both parties trust me, you know me, like I always think they're weak as fuck. But like this was the weakest slew I've ever seen. Like some of the almost Freudian slip there, some of the races actually seem like a joke. Like when I'm sitting there watching fucking Dr. Oz on stage talk to a guy who, total all due respect, had a stroke 6 months ago and still can't talk. And, they're analyzing this debate like it's real. I mean, that's an insult to my intelligence. And then when you look out in like Arizona, you had one woman in the basement and another woman screaming every conspiracy known to man. And it's like, this is where we're at now? I mean, I know we're divided, but fuck, you got to do better than this.
Yeah, I think they're testing or checking the pulse of Americans to see how radical we're willing to accept. So when you have both sides of the poll, I think they're seeing what works, what resonates, and I guess it may have been a win kind of for moderates. I think at the end of the day, because I think Republicans they clear the House, and I think it was expected, the results. It wasn't a red wave, you know, but it was I think maybe a vote for the moderate voice. I don't really know, but you're right. It was dog shit across the board. But you know, Herschel Walker. You know, let's see what happens here. We got the runoff.
Did you see the video last night of him on? I don't know. It was this week or something. It was earlier. The one on Fox News when he's sitting with fucking Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham.
No.
You didn't see this?
No.
Right, I gotta pull this up real fast. I was fucking crying. I mean, it's just like, who picked him? Was that Trump's guy?
I don't know, but I you know what you can say? All three of those men have never had protected sex. So that's the common ground there.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think Cruz has had sex at least.
I don't know
a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know who picked Herschel. How that came to be.
Here's the.
Well, first of all, this election is more than Herschel Walker. This election is about the people. And I said this.
Oh, you didn't think that was
after Biden and Fetterman? This is what we pull up. Hopefully, you have some more videos. But okay, all right.
We'll pull those up. Right. Don't worry. I mean, Fetterman couldn't put a sentence together. It was bad.
Yeah,
it was real bad.
Yeah,
like it's just like, did they let him? It was like I think at the last minute or something, they said you're not allowed at the debate to like read the computer prompter that he was using, like in the interviews.
I didn't see that. I don't. They may have. I don't know, but it didn't look like he had a computer in front of him. But
No,
I mean,
didn't.
he could have had a teleprompter. I don't know.
Well, it didn't help if he did.
Nah, I don't know. I didn't watch that debate. I was never going to watch that debate. I will never. I didn't even want to watch the highlights, if you can call them that. I think you had Fetterman just completely doing a 180 with the fracking. That was kind of embarrassing. And then you had Oz. Like if you're not going to support abortion, just say it. Don't say you're going to leave it to your local leaders or your local. You know, I mean, I don't know who he's talking about. He's talking about pastors, or is he talking about the people that run these elections locally? I don't know who he's talking about, but either way, he should have just stuck to his guns, both of them. I mean, fuck it. Let's get a feel for what people want, you know. But yeah, I didn't watch.
I think that the abortion issue is the prime example of the money and politics being on the same side. Like I always tell people, I'm like, one of the Koch brothers just died, but the other one who's still alive, like him and George Soros, they're buddies. Like they enjoy this shit. They go at it with each other because there's something in it for them. I don't know what it is. Like I have no idea, but there's some sort of like power in it for them where they get off on having people divided. So when you look at that issue in particular, which is a highly charged emotional one, I don't know what the percentage is, but most people in America think that like a reasonable ability for a woman to have a choice is perfectly fine. And then you have the fringes who believe 100% pro-life or like abortion all the way up till when they're born. And so when you watch some of these candidates answer this question, most of these guys, like take, for example, the 100 senators in Senate, and I think it's like 51-49, but just call it 50-50 for a minute, all right? Yeah. 50 Republicans, 50 Democrats. I'm convinced that if you put each of them in a room and gave them truth serum, off camera, just one-on-one, minus like the 10 Bible thumpers, like hardcore Bible thumpers on the Republican side, 40 of them are going to be like, listen, like I think reasonable choice is fine. On the Democrat side, I'll bet none of those people are into having 8-month abortion or anything like that. Now go watch when they have to answer this question, though. A guy like Dr. Oz, who has to run with the Republicans, is clearly pro-choice. He's a smooth talker because he's a TV like salesman or whatever. And so he gets caught on this one where he has to make something up to deflect. So he's like, I think that's a decision that should be between your doctor, you, and your local representative. Like, oh shit, that's not going to go bad. And then when you look at any of the Democratic candidates when they've had to answer the question where they go, are you okay with, 8-month abortion or something? They deflect by saying, I think that the entire abortion issue is something it's a choice that should be made between a doctor and a woman, and they just won't answer it because the minute that they say something that does not perfectly match the extreme of what they're being paid to say by all this fucking dark money, they're out. I mean, look at that girl, even in the media side. Look at that girl, Tomi Lahren, the blonde chick who was like blowing up a few years ago. Yeah. She's still big and around, but I believe, if I remember this correctly, she got fired from some right-wing publication because she said she was pro-choice.
She would have been with. She was with InfoWars, wasn't she?
Was she really?
I think she was.
I gotta go check
I think
that.
she was with InfoWars. But listen, like I said, at the end of the day, I know what I would want in my house, and it's kind of a weird topic for me, and I have a penis, so maybe not the best person to give you, my my emotional take on this, but you're right. But yeah, no, Tommy Lauren, yeah, she was definitely with our buddy who, holy shit, was that a shit show? That fucking trial.
Oh, let's talk about that. I haven't talked about that on the podcast yet. How much did you watch?
So before I even talk about that, TikTok is a crazy platform to watch these trials. I mean,
you were watching the Alex Jones trial on TikTok?
I watched the Alex Jones trial on TikTok. I watched I shit a lot. No, but I watched what's his name? The Christmas parade murder. The guy that ran his truck through that parade in Wisconsin, I think it was. I could be wrong. And it was insane. So like
how do you watch a trial on TikTok?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know that it's all live. I know they have that option. I'm probably calling it something that it's not, but you can watch these the TikTokers live. You can watch, obviously videos like I watched with you that pop up on my feed, but this was one where I followed both just through, part ones, part twos, part threes, and there was literally accounts that would be set up just to do part 1 through 10 of the Alex Jones trial. But no, Alex Jones, he was it was like I would have found against Alex Jones.
Hey guys, I want to warn you about something in this episode real quickly, just so that you have a heads up. But we ended up having about 6 people in total in this studio eventually within this podcast. That was the most we've ever had in here. I was doing my best to make sure the noise was down. We were obviously having a good time. But there's about 3 or 4 times where there's a lot of studio noise going on for maybe 30 seconds or so. I did my best to cut the cameras back and forth so that you could see what's happening when that's starting to happen. So maybe you can skip that part a little bit. But even when we were making drinks, I was moving the mic out of the way and I thought we were good, but there were all kinds of drinks going around, all kinds of ice, and so it was pretty loud. So just want to give you guys a heads up there. Again, pay attention to the cameras if you're watching. You'll be able to see it if you're on YouTube or Spotify, and maybe skip that part. But before I get out of here, make sure you use that link down in my description along with the code TRENDIFIER at checkout to get your own 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover today for $150 off. The 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover comes in queen or king sizes. It goes right on top of your current mattress, and it is wired directly into 8 Sleep's proprietary app, which measures your sleep stages around you throughout the night so that you get the best sleep possible. As I like to say, you'll sleep 6 hours and feel like you slept 8. So check out that link. Use code TRENDIFIER, TRENDIFIER at checkout, and you will get $150 off, and you're going to start sleeping better immediately.
Like it was like I would have probably paid, and not necessarily because I think that he's always wrong or that he was libelous or he was, it's just like he just had no fucking remorse. And it's not even like he didn't even have the decision in his mind to make a conscious choice to either, all right, I'm going to be sympathetic or I'm going to be Alex Jones. He can't have that. He is, something is in his head that he is incapable of seeing the point of view of these people, these families. And he was, I don't. He's never paying that. It was a crazy.
It's globalist media.
Yeah, it was.
They're coming after me.
No, but they hit him for I don't even know what it was. It was a crazy amount of money.
It was billions.
Right.
They were asking for $1 trillion or something.
Yeah, right.
Like how's this? What's the law there? Because isn't there per state there's a maximum you're actually allowed to pay?
Yeah.
So it's just symbolism.
Well, I'm not really sure what. Well, they can't award.
Keep that mic with you.
They can't really award you. A jury can put a number on it, fine, but it will be molded down to what that specific jurisdiction is going to permit. So, if you look at SEPTA in Pennsylvania, there's a jurisdictional limit to how much you could sue them in a claim of negligence and be awarded money. Same thing with the Commonwealth. Most governmental agencies in Pennsylvania have that. So I don't know the libel laws, and I don't even know where that was venued, honestly. I guess I wasn't watching that closely, but I don't know what if there's a cap, so to speak. I don't know that there is. So, I mean, that judgment may sit. He'll work out a payment plan. He'll probably be paying these people off for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's brutal, but, he said what he said, and when you have, I saw people arguing about this on Twitter, and particularly going back and forth about, this is the slippery slope of free speech, and I'm like, all right, I am a free speech absolutist myself. I'll defend the people people's right to say shit that I fucking hate because I understand the alternative. But when you, in a similar way to me, when you do something like what Steve Bannon did that got him banned, like that was not free speech. He openly called in a visual on a public show for, I'm not going to say what he did, but he called for certain people to go away and how to do it and where to do it, right? Because that's literally inciting violence, like by the book. So when people say they're like, okay, that gets banned, I get that because that's not free speech. But when you're talking about like what Alex said, I do also think it has to be over the line because he incited all of his followers, not all of them, but a subset of them, to torture these parents, accost them in public. These people were, their 5 and 6 year olds were slaughtered. You can think whatever, you want to go have your gun debate and everything, that's a separate issue. Right. That's not what this is about. That's what happened. Some maniac got in there and did this, and you make them have to relive that over and over again. So for the people that were like, well, once they do this, they can sue you for anything. I'm like, yeah, but where is the line? Like, there is such thing as like inflicting actual hurt upon people who clearly don't deserve it, right?
Yeah. Do you have your punch card, by the way?
My punch card.
You made me talk about abortion, and you get one per podcast, so don't fucking talk about guns. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you have the Obama counter. Every time you mention Obama, we're going to play like a hope and change or something.
You're going to have a compilation of moments where I said, I guess Obama wasn't that bad.
Right. And for those out there listening, Mike Spear is the biggest fan of Barack Obama of anyone I've ever met. It's really incredible. The guy was his number one supporter during the initial campaign in 2008, campaigned courageously for him in
Yeah. No, I was
kidding.
I think I was the man that backed him stronger than anyone, with the exception of Michelle. But anyway, the free speech thing, it's like with Jones, it was a platform. He made it his platform. He made millions of dollars off of this. And then, it had the intended consequence of having people actually harass these families. So it was a fucked up situation, but not nearly as riveting as the other trial, which I'm telling you. You haven't watched this trial with the guy that killed the people in Wisconsin?
I haven't, but can we get there?
I
want you to explain that whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
I want to stay with this Alex Jones thing, though, because I watched probably, I'm going to guess in total, I probably watched about an hour worth of stuff over about a 2-week period when it was at its height, because they had that Law and Crime TV or whatever on YouTube has all those clips. So I was watching like the cross-examination where, by the way, when his attorneys accidentally gave
it was great,
bro. Did you see the fucking face on his attorney sitting there like, well, my life is over?
Yeah.
Like, how does that even happen?
It's again, I don't know who was worse. I looked the attorney up.
I did too.
He does have a pretty solid reputation, but I don't know if you know this or not. Every attorney you Google has the best reputation you've ever met. So it's like, I don't know. But the guy had experience. So I don't know if it was an issue with the client, because I have the pressure of not pleasure of dealing with sometimes difficult clients. And I know that it's not always easy to get the evidence you need to prove your case. Sometimes you're given stuff piecemeal. Sometimes you're given dumps of shit. And obviously you got to be diligent. You want to represent your client zealously, but also be diligent in what you're doing. I don't know if it was a last minute, push to comply with some kind of request for information from the plaintiff's attorney, or if this attorney was just inept and he just fucked up. But huge fuck up. I mean, that's like 101. You don't disclose client-attorney communications. I mean,
is that that was my question, though. Is that ethical if it was not agreed upon that he was going to give that information up, and it clearly was an accident that he gave it up?
Yeah.
Is that ethical of the other attorney to present that as evidence when it was not supposed to be legally relevant or agreed upon? I mean, I have no idea. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, and honestly, it's in the world of like ethics, it seems like attorney ethic 101. You do not disclose attorney-client communications. I mean, this guy did it, obviously negligently. this is professional negligence definition. Alex, let me know if you need help. But I don't know. We're a self-governing body. We are ethics committee. It's a bunch of attorneys. So it's like, what type of ethic violation? Yeah, I mean, I think, if it's black and white, then yeah, okay, the guy violated, again, that duty not to disclose the attorney-client communications. But I don't, he obviously didn't do it intentionally, or at least I don't think he did. And it was just a big boo-boo by that guy. And I'm not aware of any like pending ethics. Well, there's definitely ethics complaints about him. I'm sure every people in that in the families, they probably filed a bunch of shit. Because he had to take on the Alex Jones persona, I think, to portray what his client wanted to portray to these jurors and shit. Sometimes that's tough for an attorney to buy in. I don't do it. I tell you right now, I get asked to act a certain way, talk a certain way, and I stick to my personality. But it looked like that attorney may have adopted the Alex Jones mentality, and he may get burned for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to play this video and put it in the corner of the screen for people who don't know what we're talking about. But we already laid out. This involved him going at the Sandy Hook families about he said Alex Jones claimed back after it happened that they were like paid actors and stuff, which was crazy, obviously. So this was at the trial when he's getting cross-examined by the other attorney, and the guy reveals that Alex's attorney accidentally gave him all kinds of old cell phone records that have God knows what in them.
Mr. Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right? You've had iPhone text messaging for several years now.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taken from?
I don't know whose phone's taken from. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take the stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner? Is that your phone number?
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Oh.
Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protected in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have a text message about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over. Just
Just
And
answer the question.
You said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that's why you got it.
Of course. I don't know. I was looking at this the whole time, and something about like the judge, no matter, I mean, she's sitting next to Alex Jones. No matter what would happen, she was just stone-faced like that the entire time, almost like a Larry David character, like, I can't fucking believe I'm here and doing this.
Right.
Like, this felt more like a sitcom to me. I don't know. Like, I got that vibe from even the camera work, like in the trial, where they're, like, flipping back and forth. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it felt fake almost. But he, like, a lot of people could say, like, oh, well, the shit's stacked against him because a lot of people hate him or whatever. And that's probably fair. But, like, I couldn't even believe how bad he was. Like, there was no, as you said, there was no element of, like, real remorse or, like, trying to backtrack on a couple things to, like, I don't know, fucking cover your tracks here at least and get yourself in somewhat good graces. Like, he just went gung-ho in this, and then when he lost, he's on fucking InfoWars while the trial, while the verdict's getting read, going, you gotta donate, I'm losing everything, they're trying to take away all our information. And then it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like fake almost.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think he probably because he obviously has or had or I'm sure he still has it, but he's got a lot of money. He probably had a really legitimate lawyer look at the complaint, the pleadings, and ultimately probably tell Alex, listen, man, you're gonna get hit. How much you're gonna get hit, I don't know. I'm not getting involved. I mean, there are lawyers that are successful enough where they probably are like, dude, I'm not gonna get you. You could name your price, it doesn't matter. So I think he knew that the train was going to hit him head on, and he just kind of just showed up, wasn't really prepared, and obviously the plaintiff's attorney, this is their, as he said, the Perry Mason moment, and they were ready to fucking roll, and they did a good job. The attorney did a nice job. I don't know his name, but I'm hiring.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll have to see if it's even depending on how much financial burden gets put on him if he's off air or something sometime soon. That's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah. I don't know. The sponsors, I don't even know. Well, that's interesting because I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe the sponsors will back out. But if they haven't backed out at this point, I don't think they're fucking backing out.
I think they're with him.
Yeah. So the guy, I mean, listen, the guy's going to be paid to be on TV or on a radio podcast, whatever. I don't know. Is he still going? I don't watch.
I haven't seen him on anything.
Okay.
In a while. I mean, maybe he has been, but I haven't seen him on anything. And I've never really watched InfoWars at all.
No.
I see clips on Twitter.
Yeah, same thing. I don't, like I said, I know a good friend of mine, I won't name him, but he always said to me, he's conservative like I am. He always said, listen, this, he's got your back. Don't forget at the end of the day, he has your back. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I know Jones has called some shots pretty close to the pin, but this was one that I never really, it never had traction in my mind. I never thought it had traction at large in the public. I know at first there was shit. I remember back because we were in high school, I think, when this happened, or were we in college? Sandy Hook.
We were in high school.
Yeah. So I remember my girlfriend at the time, also won't name her. She called me and said,
"Is this
we're now
okay?"
So we're.
I can bleep it out.
Yeah,
Is this 3 Doors Down, Ocean City?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
So she called me. She's genuinely upset. Wasn't involved in politics, but genuinely upset as fuck about this theory that was already going around. This is before Alex Jones, or I think it was before Alex Jones really had the presence he had, because the father of one of the victims was caught laughing with somebody before we started filming, and we now know when we take a sober look at it, there's a million reasons why you'd be laughing.
He was the guy was clearly delirious. It was a day. I think it was a day and a half later or something.
Well, whatever. I mean, listen, I know. We've all had loss, and we've all we went to funerals, and we've laughed at funerals, and sometimes it happens. So, but she was so fucking freaked out about it, thinking this was a conspiracy, and again, someone that didn't have an agenda, wasn't biased, didn't have any political motivation, just was like, this is what she heard, and she rolled with it. And even then, I was like, no, like this is not that. So I never really understood what the point of this was. But Jones, I guess, learned the hard way.
Do you think he's an intelligence asset?
Alex Jones?
Yes. And that does not. I do not mean the CIA by that.
No,
I could, but
I think I know what you mean. I think he's probably has some really valuable sources that he would never reveal. Maybe at times he gets information that, again, these sources would never come out and actually disclose, what they have. But I don't know if I'd call him a valuable intelligence asset. But you'd have to, if you could point to something. I don't know.
Look, I obviously don't know. I'm asking because I like to hear people's opinions on that. But the thing about Alex Jones is when you watch him on a podcast or something, the guy obviously is a very entertaining human. I mean, he has charisma like I've never seen in my life. Yeah. And I'm
a man.
Exactly. And it's like he's also there, there's more than 2 or 3 brain cells upstairs there. Like the guy absolutely has some ability. But I always look at him as a huge waste of talent because I mean, I could say this about any political hack, but in general with him, it's like when he's right, he's right. But no one cares because when he's wrong, which is all the fucking time, It's not like, oh, sorry, I said 75%. It's really 35%. It's like, oh, sorry, it turns out the Obamas don't abduct children, fuck them in their basement, and kill them. My bad, right? Like, there's no middle ground with him. So it's sad to me because then you see him call something like Epstein. I mean, that fucking guy was pounding the table in like, what, 01, 06 and shit?
Yeah.
So they're taking all these kids to Rape Island, they're fucking them. Right. And like, everyone's like, yeah, okay, pal. And then he's 100% right about it. Yeah. And so to me, it's almost like, that's why I asked the intelligence question, because it's like, could there be some sort of like viral disinformation campaign on behalf of a specifically like maybe foreign intelligence service to sow discord with a guy where you confuse people with charisma and being right about a thing here and there, while then throwing in all this other shit that like then people are trained to, like mainstream is trained to say completely wrong, and a lot of times they're right that it is completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean it's a more thoughtful theory than what I always thought about this guy. Again, I thought that he created a platform to run with the conspiracy theories that maybe had traction on a smaller scale. Maybe I don't know if he follows Reddit or where he gets some of his information, but I know that these weren't theories that, you know, he devoted hours and hours and hours to boots on the ground research from start to finish. I think that he picked up the ball at times and ran with it. And, you know, I don't know, to answer your question, I don't know. But I think a lot of him, I don't want to give him too much credit, because I think he does have a tendency of picking the ball up with theories that already have some traction, but not on a national level. And he runs with it and does his research and turns it into a really interesting podcast.
Yeah, he gets people's entertainment juices going, like we said.
Yeah.
But I mean, speaking of that though, what you and I, every time you come in here, we talk a little Epstein, so why not? Let's fucking go there. Like, you were here right before her trial last time, or like right when it was beginning. I think we were talking about it, but then that thing got done and pushed to the curb, finished, adjudicated like 2 days before the new year. Very nice timing right there. Sewn up, nice and tidy. But, you know, Ghislaine is, as far as we can tell in major public cases, the only person who, as they joke, even if this isn't entirely accurate of a statement, it kind of is. She's the only person ever found guilty of sex trafficking to fucking nobody. Right.
Yeah. The timing is curious. I mean, you know, I don't know if it's how intelligent the powers that be, you know, whatever you want to call them, the man behind the curtain, whatever, however you want to describe, you know, the people we're talking about that do exist. You know, I don't know what's more of a catalyst for having that, you know, kind of swept under the rug feeling. Is it the fact that we are so predictable as not only Americans, but as a human race, where we can kind of figure out trends, when topics are going to be more controversial, more talked about? Are they doing things close to a new year where we want to start fresh, forget about the past? I don't know. So I don't know if it's they're that ingenious and they're that much of puppet masters, or is it the fact that they know how to read us as a herd mentality, as a group that, you know, they can kind of drop bombs at a certain time, and drop certain types of bombs, because it's not always about timing. I mean, you look, you know, again, it's I don't want to go into it, but I was watching and I still can't get over it. It was this South Park episode last night, and it was about like school shootings. And it was funny because the whole episode...
New episode?
I think it was like maybe like 18 or 19 season.
They're fucking geniuses.
I know. There's multiple school shootings going on. Like even at South Park Elementary, and it's Randy, who's my favorite character. You know, and Sharon. So Sharon's like losing her shit because like no one seems to care. And he's literally like in the background at one of the meetings, like they're having she holds a PTA meeting, and they're all at the house, and she's like freaking out about school shootings. Why doesn't anyone care? They start talking about, oh, that rusty slide. She's like, the rusty slide, because you have people shooting people up at school. And he's behind her waving a red handkerchief down by his crotch saying, you know, because he thought she was just on her period. So, but the whole point of it is that, you know, it's like, you have you have certain yeah, I'm sorry.
You picked an interesting one.
But the point
Go
of it
ahead.
is, I don't know if it's that these people are so fucking smart that they're sweeping this under the rug, just from their own, willpower, or is it they know what makes us tick, they know when we tick, and they drop it when they think it's most opportune,
I mean, look, man, I do think it comes back to that. I don't remember what I said it about, but when I was pointing out, like, you look at the dark money that's not so dark. We see it. We see who these people are. It's like you see right, you see left. It's all the same team to me. Like they are. I was talking about it with the abortion thing as the example, but that's what they are incentivized to do. They're incentivized to divide people so that there's such massive disagreement that they can sow discord in society and distract from the things that are wrong. I mean, we're living in a country, and this is beating a dead horse here, but we're living in a country where when you go look at Congress and Senate, you have people that have been there for fucking 40, 50 years. They're making careers out of this. You have people who go in there with no money, have $100 million now. Now, if you're a president and you leave office and then you're paid crazy sums to speak, that makes sense, I guess. But anyone else, it's like, what do you mean? We joke about the insider trading and all that. Like, it's almost like they do all this stuff straight in your face and then go, ha, ha, ha. And then, by the way, look, fire.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks at the fire and goes, ooh, wow. You know what I mean? And then we just continue to go like this. And social media, obviously, this era has made it 100 times worse.
Yeah. Well, it's I forget who mentioned it. Someone said it recently, and it made a lot of sense. They're like, fear equals money,
Yeah.
and it's like, the more you can get people riled up, the more money you're going to make, whether it's something as innocent as a really big snowstorm that you're worried you're not going to be able to get out the next day. You're worried you won't be able to get the fucking milks in the and milk and eggs. It doesn't, or bread and eggs, whatever it is. But yeah, I think a lot of it's fear. But again, like you said, oh, here's the other fire. I'm telling you, they're not. We bought into this system that we have now. With it's such a deep conversation that I can't even point to one thing, but. They're playing off us, man. It's not like we're not, an innocent party in the sense that, they are just so manipulative that they're going to, twice. I know. I did it the other day with,
I do it all the time.
What was the word? Fuck. It was, I can't remember now. Anyway.
You're doing better than Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Never mind. I'll talk about that later. But, oh yeah, I forgot.
Which way, left or right? Because I went in both directions.
Oh man, I think I definitely pissed in his general direction. I think I talked about it on the podcast once.
We did. That was the opening. Yeah, I bleeped out your name when we said that. But I feel like it's okay now.
And wherever I was, I don't know where I was, or the person's whose house who was hosting me, they did not know I was doing it. I was pissing in that
No one
direction.
ever knows you're pissed. I've seen you piss on a video poker machine in the middle of a pool table bar in New York City at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you sent me another compilation. I was talking about compilations. He has a lot, and one is all of the different. One is all the different places where I was. Yeah, it's all different places. But anyway,
that's got copyrighted music on it, so I can't play it. But it's still on my TikTok.
No, yeah, I don't want you. Listen. I'll walk out that door and you'll see me again, but never on here. So
okay,
yeah,
all right. Fair.
But
you were talking about manipulative.
Yeah, so I don't think that the people behind the curtain are that intelligent. I think that they have a feeling to what makes us tick, and they're going to use it against us, and a lot of it is fear.
Why do they do you're saying the fear just to drive money?
Yeah, I think they have a really good grasp on human nature. I don't think that I don't think they've really done a whole lot to change again what we are deep down, as humans, and that definition changes as we get more shit. I mean, as we're sitting here with a fucking podcast, backtracking all the way back to we were lighting candles, and in the future with who the fuck knows, you know what I mean? So it's like. It's one of those things where they have a feel for human nature. They're good at it. They know what makes us tick, and that's why shit like this with a verdict that was probably at one point the most important decision that we were all waiting for was basically a nothing burger. And I honestly couldn't even tell you. I don't even remember the verdict. Well, the verdict wasn't read publicly, but
She was guilty.
Yeah, she was guilty. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, she got 20 years apparently in like a country club. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The fact that she's alive, I'm like kind of impressed with that. It's sad that I'm impressed with that. But when it was like, how many days till she hangs herself or gets rid of herself?
I thought you meant, I'm sorry, I'll let you keep going, but when you said alive, I thought you meant like that the judicial system was going to do something. I'm like, dude, you're watching too much World fucking Cup, but continue. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, but like you talk about fear and selling, like they're still controlled because you saw, like you said, you saw very little coverage of that trial. And with Epstein, if you remember, let's give him credit. When that story first broke, the mainstream media was all over it. They were all about it for a few days, like every head to toe coverage everywhere. And then it went away. And then James Patterson made a documentary for Netflix. You know, he's best friends with Clinton, and they just shoved that one under the rug. And they said, "You happy? We're done. Over. He's dead. Cool." But that, like, if you're the media and you were just focusing on fear selling and everything, that's a story you would have never done, like what they did to Amy Rohrabacher, pulling back, which she did have that story. You know, you would have never done shit like that, but they're being told. That's why, like, people just want to blame the media right away, and you hear me complain about them for certain shit, and it's fair, for sure. But something like this, you can't tell me they're the ones making that decision.
Yeah. The thing that really I just will never understand, I think actually Trump alluded to it, is, and it's probably not even worth talking about at length because nobody's going to ever understand it, is like, how did this motherfucker kill himself? Like, I don't.
Well, according to Jim DiOrio, we showed him the news.
Yeah, I
said that publicly.
Wait, what was
Did he?
reported, though?
Yeah, he said that publicly.
What was reported?
What was what?
What was reported on this? Like, how did he?
Oh, they said it was
Oh,
suicide.
yeah,
They
hung
said
himself.
There's a funny thing that happens when high profile people commit suicide in prison. Their security camera footage goes out for like a half hour, an hour.
Well, you can't have security footage in the cell. You don't have you can't have.
But all the footage is out. It's all gone.
Well, that shows you.
And
who's
that's not even
that
true.
shows you the in and out.
That's not even true.
I don't think you can have
Yes,
security
you can.
footage in Gen Pop.
El Chapo,
cell.
bitch. Yeah, you can.
El Chapo.
Remember? We watched that
Yeah,
motherfucker
I-
go through the shower,
yeah.
whoop, right out the
Yeah.
fucking tunnel.
Where was that prison?
That one was in Mexico.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. But
You think he's doing that in Flying Superman? Taking a fucking tunnel?
Well, this might be full circle. El Chapo might have tunneled somebody in and then fucking killed fucking Epstein and then tunneled his way out.
Yeah, that could have
Oh
been
man,
it.
but
I mean, have you ever seen his cellmate?
Epstein's?
Oh yeah.
I honestly, I'll sit here and tell you I know nothing about him.
Oh, bro,
Did his cellmate ever testify?
Epstein's cell. No, of course he didn't. There's no This is America. There's no testimony in the Epstein case.
Wait, the estate didn't have an action against the prison for allowing this to happen? Jesus Christ.
This is his cellmate. That's him. I'll put the picture in the corner so people could see it. He's a fucking wall.
Well, they tried hard to keep him safe, but didn't work. Didn't work. Oh my God.
I just, there's certain people.
Can you imagine if that line was true? I just saw something pop up. You're Jeffrey Epstein. You got this fucking bear sleeping next to you. And all of a sudden they're like, I don't know what happened. I've been here for 3 years and I'm getting transferred. I'm going home. He's probably like, holy fucking shit. I'm going to die tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to fucking die tonight.
He probably won it at that point. He wasn't getting out. You know what I mean? I mean, they had him. Although, who knows? He slipped his way out of the last one.
Dude, he's a...
What is that Alex Acosta saying? And I don't even blame the guy because it seems like he was a pawn, but he said he belongs to intelligence. Pull that mic in.
What do you mean?
Alex Acosta in 2008,
Yeah.
who was later, was he the labor secretary under Trump? Is that
Right.
it? So in 2008, 2009, when Epstein was being tried for soliciting a minor for prostitution, and whatever it was, in Florida, and facing significant time, he got that sweetheart deal where he got 13 months, but he was allowed to leave prison every day.
Oh, yeah.
And Alex Acosta, when he had been asked about it on the record later, said, I was told Epstein belongs to intelligence. It was above my pay grade.
I never saw it.
Yeah,
But that's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, and like in that guy's defense, like he had to resign labor secretary for that. And I'm not defending that action per se, but like, I mean, it sounds like he was told what to do.
Yeah, he probably was. But again, it always, dude. I am being a contrarian with the deep state type of conversations. But again, I mean, was it a crafty legal maneuver to somehow get him wrapped up in even the most minor of intelligence related issues to get that pitch to the DA, or was it that in fact this guy was who I kind of think he is, and who you definitely think he is based upon our conversations? Was he tied up in all this shit? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, I mean, the intelligence aspect to him is, if you just start by looking at the loose tie, at least, that's somewhat known to Adnan Khashoggi and everything, that's where even just that alone right there is sketchy as fuck. Have we talked about that before?
No, I don't think we have.
So Adnan Khashoggi was the guy, you've heard of him. He was a major league Saudi arms dealer who was like a man of the town around New York City and fucking Europe and shit. And he wasn't, if I remember correctly, he was not related to the royal family in Saudi, but he had ingratiated himself into that circle and effectively operated it at their behest, and I guess on his own as well. And so he was worth billions and billions of dollars. But there's a dude who did some unbelievable reporting. This is going to sound nuts to say, but I'll give you the context because it really is. This guy named Henry Abbott, who I had read growing up because the fucking guy's a basketball reporter. He reports on the NBA. He's got the blog True Hoop. It used to be a part of ESPN, I believe. And then when ESPN laid off like everyone, he went and took it on its own. And so he went to do an investigative report that I think was only supposed to be 2 or 3 parts when he started it in, I think like 2020 maybe, where he was looking into the ties of Apollo Global,
Right,
Epstein, and the NBA, where Apollo Global owns a couple teams, including the Sixers. Right? So he goes to do this whole thing, and long story short, the guy suddenly like uncovers all this shit.
Right.
And I haven't checked it recently, but the last time I checked, he was at like 24 parts, and they're all a chapter in a book. I mean, it's like a full book, right? And he tied together, it's everything from like the Nazis with the OSS in like World War II all the way up to Khashoggi and through that. And so Khashoggi, I'll bring that one up right now. He is believed to be the mentor of Jeffrey Epstein when it came to sex trafficking. He apparently was a very successful evil sex trafficker as well, in addition to being an arms dealer. And so that's where Epstein, like, I don't know, learned the tricks of the trade. I don't know how the fuck this works, obviously, thank God. But, you know, he learned under him. And what's wild is I keep finding this fucking person in the middle of all kinds of shit. So, like, I had David Satter in here for episode 92. We're going to have him back in. He, for people that didn't see that one, he is, as of now, I believe still at the beginning of the war he was, but he is the only Western non-Russian reporter who Putin has ever kicked out of Russia post-Soviet Union. And he was actually kicked out in the Soviet Union too, so twice. But he got kicked out in 2013 because he's like Putin's #1 biographer in the West. Like, he knows everything about him. He called it on Putin when he blew up all the buildings in '99 to get into power and everything. And I had been reading his book right before he came in here, and he just tossed in this little thing that he didn't, when I'm reading it, it didn't seem like he really thought that much of it. But there was a whole series of like false flag events that were negotiated ahead of Putin bombing his own towers in 1999 in Moscow and killing his own people and blaming it on the Chechens to start the Second Chechen War, and then got him popular and got him elected to be president as a result. But among the ways that they planned this out was that there was a meeting negotiated in 1999 by fucking Adnan Khashoggi at his house with the Russian representatives, and I believe it was, if I'm remembering correctly, representatives from Dagestan or Chechnya or both, to have this like fake invasion of Dagestan.
Right.
And I'm like, this dude was handling the like between this world event with a new leader rising to power and everything, and it's like it ties back to this guy, Epstein.
Right.
It's like, where the fuck does this stop? So like when we're talking intelligence, to me, I look at what's the plausibility of someone being in a certain place at the right time, quote unquote, right? If it happens once, okay, that's coincidence. Happens twice, still could be coincidence. When it's happening all the time, and like even just looking at a guy like Khashoggi right now, who's constantly in the middle of all these world affairs. He's a fucking billionaire out there, balling, fucking everything with a pulse, probably a rapist as well, I'm sure, of like, especially of little girls and stuff. So sick fuck. And yet, he's selling all the arms to a bunch of these countries. He's trafficking women and probably boys too, to different people. He's probably he definitely is an intelligence asset. And he mentors a guy that we're sitting here wondering, oh, did he hang himself or did? I mean, we're not really wondering it, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the whole thing has this shroud over it that you can't. It's like it's a taste in your mouth you're never gonna get rid of.
Yeah. So what? Do you think that's not mainstream because of laziness on the part of Joe the plumber, or is it because there's lack of transparency with the media and what they know? Obviously, you referenced a guy who was a reputable ESPN writer. Well, I mean,
ESPN, right? Yeah, literally.
How? So then, what is it? I mean, are we that lazy, or are we dealing with these outlets that aren't transparent? I mean, or both? I don't know.
I don't know, but the media is beyond like we always talk about like mainstream media. If you don't think that there are hooks in all the quote unquote, and not all, but in plenty of like the independent media or like the politically aligned media online off the mainstream, you're crazy. Like, do you know when Trump fired Steve Bannon in August 2017 on a Friday? Now, unlike Alex Jones, I will say 1,000% Steve Bannon is an intelligence asset. 1,000%. Yeah. Do you know where he went that weekend?
Steve Bannon?
I believe he was fired on a Friday. But that weekend, do you know where he was?
No.
He was at Jeffrey Epstein's house on camera with Epstein for upwards of 18 hours.
What? Why? Was there an event? Was he hosting something?
I'm gonna pull up the footage. There is now, as far as I know, Steve has not released this purported documentary that he's teasing that I'm about to show, if I can even still find it on YouTube. But there is footage, and it's so tragic. It's almost like funny because you can't even believe what's coming out.
Wait,
of the guys.
So are you intimating that it's Steve Bannon who went there, kind of either whether it's obvious or not, for the purpose of creating content for his new documentary? Or
yeah, but that we still don't have. It's like what? Why is he doing that, and where is that footage? Because he hasn't released it.
Well, yeah.
Hold on, let me.
I'm concerned we're going to lose Steve Bannon if this is a
Steve Bannon,
going to be a negative piece,
documentary,
which I don't know how it wouldn't be.
Let's see. All right, here we go. This was, he released this like last year, and it still has not, like, as far as I know, there's no documentary that came out, and this won't even load.
Talk about a fucking black sheep. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. What is, see, there he is. That's the guy I was just talking about. That's the blog right there. Yeah. Hold on one sec. We'll be right back. I need to find this footage. I can't say, look this up yourselves. I need to find this. Hold on. All right, we're back. I got it. I have a piece of it at least through the Independent. So
that was hard to find.
Yeah, it was. You can't get on YouTube right now. But here we go. So this was, she's playing in this, the reporter we were just listening to off air. She's playing a piece of this trailer that happened. And I'll put it in the bottom corner of the screen for people if I can even. I think I can download this.
I made my living from old thinking, but the future is for the way women think.
The way women think.
That's correct.
Is that not a sop because of all the depravity you've done against young women, and your new sop is that their women's thinking is the future.
It's fucking real.
Listen.
I've always believed that women would be, in fact, be able to take over. I'm a firm believer and supporter of Time's Up.
Bro, he said that. I'm a firm believer and supporter of Time's Up. And this purported trailer or whatever, we've never seen.
Yeah.
But Steve Bannon comes back from the Marines, I think he was a Marine, in the 80s, networks himself into Detroit Lambert. I think that's how you say it. Do you remember the Michael Milken thing?
No.
He was the guy who had all the junk bonds, he's still a billionaire, I think, today, but he went to prison for like a couple years because his firm was like, he was the junk bond king, and then everyone lost money. It was a famous thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guys who broke off of there all became successful, and they ended up fucking getting their hands in, like they started Apollo Global, among other things. So like that's where Leon Black went, who then was Jeffrey Epstein's personal financier the last 5-6 years of his life. That's why, even though he wasn't one of the NBA owners, he was the lead owner of Apollo. Right. That's why Henry Abbott was looking into this shit. And Steve Bannon at Detroit Lambert worked on fucking media partnership deals. And what do you know? Steve Bannon's one of the guys who negotiated the deals for what became the biggest sitcom of all time, Seinfeld. He is still paid by Seinfeld to this day. So he had his hands, he was in the middle of this firm that had all these ties to all this intelligence-related shit, allegedly. He had his hands on the biggest show of all time, which is a major pop culture thing. And then he finds his way into, there was a bunch of things in the middle there too, but he finds his way into Andrew Breitbart's orbit when he's blowing up. Breitbart dies of a heart attack. Bannon's right there to take over, and within 4 years you have a celebrity guy running for president, and Bannon just happens to walk in July and become his campaign manager and then win the fucking thing for him and then become this like political, Leninist, as he describes himself and everything. So people like this, the fact that you can put that web, him, Khashoggi, and then look at how the media covered for all this stuff. You look at the Bill Clintons, you look at all the powerful people who were on those jets. Plenty of people within politics, plenty of people who were associated with the parties on there. They're all in on it in some way, and yet nothing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you create a web, and I think, listen, it is what it is. It is a web, all right? And I don't, what I'm going to say doesn't discredit anything you're saying, because the research you put into it is obviously... it takes hours and days and weeks and months. But the one thing I will say is that, I'm still skeptical about tying all of these people into one, prize of a motive for them. They we deal, like, listen, even personally, like, we all kind of deal, like, I'm in an adversarial system. That's what we do every day. And a lot of times we make decisions on a, one-on-one level, which is really just a instruction or even marching orders from the next person. And then you're looking at a book of a firm and how this is going to benefit them, the monetary benefit of actually taking this strategic approach to a problem or to a case, whatever you want to call it. I think that there is, it's not an old boys club, because that would not be fair, but there is a concerted effort to, again, pit ourselves against one another, whether that is in the most literal sense of having an adversary in a courtroom, or if it's taking yourself a couple steps removed and talking about political adversaries. You're talking about coordinating, international, effort to try to accomplish a goal, but at the same time appear pitted. I think with Bannon, what you're showing me, it sounds like, again, they're feeding off of the American people. They know how to do it. They know when to do it. They know why to do it. And you're able to connect the web. But to go as far as to say that Bannon, Epstein, even linking or going back to Alex Jones, to suggest they're political operatives or international political operatives, I don't know.
Well, we have them all over the mainstream media, like what you would call like the liberal media. We have a bunch in there as well. Let's pick your. So why wouldn't we also have some that are on like the fringe right?
Well, I guess I have to. I still am not convinced of when we say international political operatives or even just domestic political operatives. We have to find what is the goal of all this. You know, what is the goal of the operation or multiple operations all coordinating together to achieve a goal. I don't know what that is. I mean, if you talk about Steve Bannon as helping at least for a short period, or for not a short period of time, but for maybe a relatively speaking short period of time, but with major implications, helping a Trump presidency. Okay, but are you suggesting, or at least is the evidence that you've kind of uncovered suggesting that you're looking at a common goal with Bannon?
Hey, Mazel Tov!
Oh, there you are.
What's cooking?
Hey.
Look what the guy. Oh, he's gonna trip over it.
Oh, it's coming in.
I know it's coming.
Yeah, sick.
Drake, Dylan McDonald in the building. Sorry, people. We pardon this interruption. We have some guests
We
coming
got a
in.
mullet and a man bun.
Yo, Drizzy, where you can pull that over there. You can pull it right there. Pull up. I got a little drink for you fellas.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Look at no, you're good.
Thank you. I know, 30 years old.
Look at this fucking guy with the leather. We got another one.
Hasn't mentioned it yet.
Really? That's messed up.
I know, terrible.
That's 112 in the building. Dill, you can go right there. Drake, take that fucking bar stool wherever you want.
How about this? I can go back there and then you might.
Ah, you good? You good? Hey,
Stay back there.
you got the fucking crew in here tonight.
No, you can sit. You're not
Dangerous.
No, you can sit here.
This isn't in the frame? I'm gonna piss before you go.
I love how they just walked in like, right, just killing off the end of the Epstein vibe. I guess like
I was ready to kill it off.
Right,
dude.
go
I thought
off.
it was real serious when we went.
Oh yeah, no.
It's crushing me. No, this book, that article, this movie, I'm like.
Miller walking the steps like keep stopping to let the other one go first because he never went down.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on because I just saw Amanda get up. She's like, I'm like, what is this fucking dog out of the fucking?
Yeah, now the dog is coming in here to bite you again.
Yeah, she don't hurt. I have
You guys get a nice dinner? You didn't? You got a little food though? Something.
No, we can eat again.
Oh, you can eat again. We're gonna eat tonight. Don't worry. We're gonna get after it tonight. It's a good night.
I just had a cheesesteak.
Look at this. The whole fucking. You did just have food. Didn't you?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, dude, I just bought you a cheesesteak.
Wait, did he make it for you?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, you didn't personally make it.
with love.
And it wasn't a real cheesesteak if Drake didn't personally make it. By the way, I am saying Drake like that is actually his name. This is the non-rapper Drake for people
I'll take
listening.
if we're all taking pisses, I'll take a piss.
You taking a piss real
That's
fast?
what's happening.
So you were closing off the point. I hope I can even remember this, but you were closing off the point trying to say like some of the Epstein evidence was quote unquote suspect to say definitively that all these other people are potentially tied to intelligence, which is tied to him.
No, listen. It could be perceived as my laziness, but it also reminds me a lot of like Charlie Day from Always Sunny, when he has all the fucking it was like when he was working. I don't know if he was working in the mailroom or not, but the episode where he literally like he's just obsessed. Like he's got all the fucking yarns of all the string, pointing to different pictures, and he's like I fucking got it. He's like we spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the connection is, and like a lot of these extremely powerful, extremely wealthy, political fucking hegemon type people are connected somehow. But like, come on. Like, it shouldn't surprise us that much. And again, you deal with so many people. I mean, listen, they could be the biggest fucking frauds, ever. To success that one is on this side of the political spectrum, the other one's on this side of the political spectrum. Yet their goals are all the same.
Right.
I don't think they have a mutual goal necessarily. But again, they're all connected. And look, you've done your homework, you've done your research. I can't tell you with a straight face that you're out in left field. But I don't see that they all have a common goal. I just don't see it that way.
That's the interesting thing, too, because you look at what alignment looks like around the world, and, there's a lot of people who run with, like, oh, they're all in on it together at all times. I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a lot of conflicting interests out there, without a doubt. I mean, you just look at, like, geopolitical events, even in smaller places where countries are fighting against each other. I don't think it's all, like, contrived. But, the media that we keep referring to that puts forth all these narratives, right? Like that's what they do, and there's narratives online in the independent media as well that can occur when it's politically sided towards one side or the other. It's like, you immediately put up these walls that says, this is our hill, we will die on it, and that's therefore anyone who listens to us, this is what you need to agree with. Yeah. So like now you even look at, and I know you were fucking fired up about this, but I haven't talked to you about it in a while. Like you look at what we've seen in Ukraine all year. I mean, we're fucking, what, 9 months into this war, 8 months into this war or whatever. And it took about a week before you had people firmly on the, this is bullshit, or, Slava Ukraine. You know what I mean? Like you had clear lines in the sand. So first of all, just even where we stand now, like what are your thoughts on that, and where do you see this going?
So the conspiracy aspect of it, I haven't really talked to anyone about that. The only mention of conspiracy we had was what some people are calling that false flag, where the 2 Polish farmers get blown up by what all accounts seem to suggest is a Ukrainian missile. But other than that, like I didn't look at it like there's a conspiracy going on where Russia is under some mutual understanding with Ukraine. I didn't look at it like that. First of all, what's his name? G.I. Walensky, the president of Ukraine. I mean, he is like, honestly, like him. The fact that he can look at Putin and call him a war criminal is kind of like it's crazy.
What's wrong with that?
He is a war criminal, Putin.
Yeah.
But this guy is also a gentleman, if you want to call it, who's gone into primarily Russian speaking. And when you dive down culturally into religion and into stuff that you'll see, like, even with like Catholicism, like the stuff that we take for granted, like, going to church, on Sunday and stuff like that during Christmas time, whatever. I mean, he tried to root these guys out, and I didn't. This isn't just me researching this. So I actually have a lawyer that works in it. Can't say his name, won't say his name. He's Russian. All right. And
I could Google that shit real easy. But
yeah,
and
there's
that really narrows it down.
But I said worked with me. Did I say works? He works with me. Fuck, he wouldn't care. But he's like, dude. He goes. All of a sudden, he goes. I wake up and he goes. I got one asshole who's Putin, and I'm sorry, dude. Don't go back to Russia after I say this, but he got one asshole and another asshole, and it's at the end of the day, it's like, again, I think Russia has the short-term goal of trying to recapture Soviet Union territory, and that's how it looks nice, it looks pretty, it looks clean, but you're right, there is another element going on here. It's probably not a giant conspiracy between two, world powers. I guess I can call Ukraine a world power. They have our nuclear weapons somewhere in their country, but I'm not looking at it like that. I just think that it's a strategic political move for Putin. It's a strategic political reaction. And not to mention, you look at my one buddy, I won't say his name, but he's on a news show. His initials are TC, very popular. He started talking about how much money we've been sent. Tucker Carlson, fuck it. So he's talking about how much money, and these are not we have Republicans voting for this stuff. It's not like this is strong arm Democratic bill that gets passed by Uncle Joe. This is a bipartisan effort to fund Ukraine. So again, when I walk back to what I said earlier, which is fear equals money, it's we've created a conflict where it seems as though Ukraine's the only one benefiting. I don't know. I mean, Russia, I thought maybe they were on to something as well, but I know they lost, at least temporarily, the ability to complete the pipeline with Germany. I know that was probably a big, I know that was probably a big monetary hit. I know that, we have assets frozen, and no one in here is going to comment on assets or anything like that. Chris Ibrahim. But we have a scenario where we're looking at, I think, fear mongering. It's creating a great opportunity to generate revenue for Ukraine, and it did. And listen, I'm not saying the people that got killed, it's a travesty. I like to fucking shoot Putin in the head if I had the chance, but I'm not necessarily having a fucking drink with G.I. Lewinsky. Ain't happening.
I gotta say though, there's definitely no one in the nobody talks like that guy. Like, thank you, President Biden, for sending your you don't talk like that.
He bought the same fucking jacket I bought at Patagonia. That's camo, and he went out like this. I mean, this is who we're dealing with. You know, it's like
that Vogue cover was nice though.
Was he
that
on
was
Vogue?
Hot. Yeah.
Oh God.
He and his wife, they're a good couple.
Were they?
Yeah, it was very well done. In the middle of a war zone.
I thought he was married to the military and country. He's married to a woman.
To the what? Oh yeah, yes he is. She's kind of hot. No lie. He was like an actor or some shit before that. So
was she?
No, he was.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Look at Berlusconi. I mean, that guy's a fucking man. Yeah, but anyway, that's a whole different conversation.
They say Berlusconi was the Trump before Trump.
Probably, because my aunt from Italy hates him too. So yeah, you're right.
So she hates Trump and hates Berlusconi. Yeah. That's kind of funny. I don't know if they know each other, but they definitely have the same style.
I don't know.
Do you think Putin's dying though?
Dying.
This motherfucker don't look good. He's got his fucking hand shaking on the holding the table every time. Yeah, I'll pull up the video in a second. But he's got his hand shaking on the table, holding it when he's meeting with people. His face is puffy as fuck, like he's on steroids out the ass. Yeah. I mean, you saw him in that goddamn hazmat suit. I'll put that in the corner of the screen, during the beginning of COVID. He looked like he was about to invade Mars.
Dude, you're on something really cool, and I never fucking thought about it. Dude, these guys, dictator types, when they are about to die, they do want legacy moments.
Yes.
So that's a really fucking interesting part. I never even thought about that. I never thought about that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about his health, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let's see if I just pulled up one on YouTube right now, so we'll put it in the corner. You guys in the studio can't hear this, but Mike and me can. So this way, look at this, Mike. Oh shit, I just went off it. Sorry. Look at this. Look at his hand. See it on the right side there? Yeah. It's like holding the table. And then there were other meetings where he was his foot's shaking uncontrollably and shit. And you're seeing him less on camera too, they're putting him on camera from side angles and stuff when he's in the office.
His hair's thinning.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's been happening. Right? And I think this video, what was the date on this? I think this is several months old.
Well,
yeah, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Half of our favorite celebrities are going to die, and we're like, what? But it's just what they get done. There's so many ways to make you look younger.
Right.
Anybody.
I mean, I would have thought they would have deep faked it at this point. Have a stand-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's a stand-in, the stand-in's really fucking struggling.
Kim Jong-un's looked like a fat fuck for how many years? I don't think they...
His videos are incredible, though.
I haven't seen many.
You haven't seen his videos?
I thought he actually died until somebody told me that I'm crazy. And I'm like, well, this isn't like the fucking Betty White shit that was happening 10, 15 years ago. This was I thought he actually died, but apparently he didn't.
No, he didn't. He killed his brother, though. But
yeah.
He...
fed him to the dogs.
They what?
Did he feed the... Oh, that was the uncle. The uncle...
They fed the uncle to the dogs?
He fed the uncle to dogs.
That's probably the only fucking food those dogs had anyway. There's no food in that country.
I don't know.
He's the worst of the worst, dude.
Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
I don't know. The ads that North Korea puts out for their own country are really nice.
That's what I'm saying. You see him on a white horse, riding valiantly. Then he's walking away. Honestly, good marketing. You see the fucking missile going off in the background in slow-mo. He's walking away like Tom Cruise. But really, he's just a fat fuck while his whole country's starving.
Yeah, no, he's another sick fuck. But again, that's
pull that mic in.
Yeah, there's there's levels to this stuff with these dictators, because you look at how fucked up he is, and it's well, Putin. I mean, yeah, now we can call him a war criminal. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he never let the KGB go.
KGB.
Yeah. What did I say?
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
But there are levels to this shit, and I listen. I've always disliked Putin. I was I remember when Mitt Romney said it, and I was he said Russia's
you were
a
big Romney guy,
huh?
You were a big Romney guy.
Yeah. Loved him. Had a lot of kids. Didn't cheat. Like Joe.
You like the Mormon?
No.
You don't like the Mormon aspect?
Nah, dude. After you watch that South Park episode, how can you ever take Mormonism seriously? That's the fucking greatest shit ever. But and I also saw the Book of Mormon, which is a great show. Great play, I guess. It would be, or music.
But I remember that. Remember Obama? Look, that was the cold take by Obama when he's the the Cold War cold once it's foreign policy back.
Yeah, it's because Obama was a community organizer in Chicago, and didn't even
Obama counter on.
Didn't even care about the guns he had in his own community, let alone the potential.
What do you mean he didn't care about the guns in his? That's bullshit. That's cap.
What, statistically speaking, here you go. You like your book learning. Go get your statistically speaking. Go tell me the palpable difference between gun violence when Obama was even at the height of his political career in Chicago, and prove me wrong. I don't know if
Commenters pull those stats up, throw them downstairs. We'll see what happens.
All right, but I just really said book learn. I love that show.
Yeah, what the what?
We're not going there.
I mean, we're not going. You can't just say that. You can't be like,
"Ah, Trailer Park Boys."
Yeah, listen to this. It's funny. We're not
Trailer
going
Park
there.
Boys. I've said that before. I actually said that. I actually said I didn't say book learning. I said I was learning. I was. It's a weird context. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So I'll say. But anyway.
No, I mean, but back on the Ukraine thing here. It's like I do think a lot about what Andy Bustamante, the CIA guy, says because he gets a lot of shit, and I love Andy. Like I'm good friends with the guy. I think he's the most impressive sparring partner I've had in here. Like we go at each other too, like in a healthy way. And like I love it. Like he'll come right back at me and stuff, and then we'll laugh about it afterwards and everything. But there's things he says where it's like, all right, relax, chill, Jason Bourne. But then there's other things he says, and he literally was Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
but
right. Yeah.
There's other things he says where it's like, oh shit, that's a really hard pill to swallow, but does that make sense? And like with the Ukraine thing, one of the takes he's had since like the beginning of the war is that, he appears to be a guy when I hear him talk, like he doesn't like Biden at all. Like he thinks this is like not a good administration, but he said that the moves that we're making from a financial loading perspective, which is therefore paying these tens of billions of taxpayer money over and over and over again into Ukraine, is actually a very smart move. And I don't know if he said this directly, but he strongly insinuated it at the very least. But people can run the tape on episode 97 to see and episode 107 to see. But I think it was 107 at like the 135 mark in there. But go check it anyway. If you went into he's like, if you go into Ukraine and you're paying them all this money, what do you now have? You have a client state. They have to do what you want them to do. If you are paying, like their GDP is like $200 billion a year or something like that. I'll pull it up after I'm done talking. And we paid them, what, like $100 billion or something? We effectively own them. And they're in this strategic spot, hypothetically, in between Europe and Russia. And who's to the south of Russia is China. You got your fascism and your communism. Yeah. We don't like that here, right? Yeah. And so now you have this land where they've already been laundering a bunch of money, where they've already, I shouldn't even say that, but that certainly happens. But they've been putting a lot, they've been parking it, right? They've been parking a lot of money there, even government sources, as far as like in some of those, I'm going to fuck this up if I say it, but like some of those facilities, we'll call it, in Ukraine and everything. And now effectively they get to have a man on the ground. And like, I don't think Zelensky can do shit without forget even the other Western powers who have helped him that have a say in this. I don't think he can do shit without a sign off from the U.S.
Yeah, but what do you think that just happened? I mean, I think since the end of the Cold War.
Pull the mic in.
I think since the end of the Cold War, that's how it's been. I just don't. Again, I'm sure that bill was probably the sweetest deal they've gotten in probably over 50 years. Right. But again, I really don't know that we need to invest hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into getting a buddy in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, I saw the bill. I don't know if that ever. I don't know if that.
It's billion. No,
it?
it's
Okay.
it's what? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I know we get lost in the numbers sometimes because it's all a lot of money to us. But yeah, it's in the billions, and it's hard. Like when you Google it, I'll try it again. But like when you Google like how much money total have we given to Ukraine, it's hard to like find an exact answer, which is never a good sign.
Last week they were trying to do $37 billion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's 37 billion, 3.7 billion, 40 billion. Like
anything.
It's all a lot of money. It's a lot of fucking money.
SBF lost 40 and
So
asking for 37.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So how much? So instead of Ukraine, pretend it was a girlfriend. How much are you going to pay her to be your girlfriend? I mean,
nothing. If I got to pay someone to be my girlfriend, that's not girlfriend. That's a hooker.
All right. So then, I mean, I don't really see the. the benefit of dumping money into that country. I just don't. Putin has proven through, at least the standoffs that we've seen, and even not the standoffs, but these strategic hits that he's had, these bombings. I mean, really? I mean, he's still at war with Ukraine. This was a country that we were deathly afraid of for years and years. That listen, the nuclear option's scary as shit. Obviously,
yes.
There's no doubt about it.
The biggest, yeah.
But I mean, I think this guy is aging because he just showed his fucking hand, which is that he is not who we all thought he was,
At this point.
Yeah, I think, and guess what? I hate to break the fucking news, but China's going to be even more embarrassing. They just will. I know they will.
What do you mean?
In terms of a military standoff, I mean, they got a fucking island to the southeast of them that it's like, I mean, but like, what's stopping them? I mean, holy shit! I mean, they landed an airplane on an aircraft, 10 years ago. I mean, they should be rolling at this point, It's
yeah.
like,
why haven't they taken Taiwan yet?
I don't know. Is it the dependence on the United States? I mean, we are a giant consumer. I mean, it could be that.
What are you more surprised about? How long that the Ukraine war has lasted? What is it, 9 months? Or that China hasn't invaded Taiwan yet?
Well, see, I'm a little biased by that because at the beginning, like right at the beginning of the war, like a week or two in, Boost went on Danny's podcast, Concrete. And then he repeated it on a bunch of podcasts. He repeated it here and other places since. But he went on and said he is predicting in the lead up to the 2024 election, China will take Taiwan. And he backed that with a bunch of evidence. But I will finish it by saying this, because he did say this publicly, so I can say this. He says, I'm allowed to say I was stationed in Asia, but I'm not allowed to say where. That said, I speak Thai, Japanese, and Chinese, so you do the math. So, point being, when this guy opens his mouth on this kind of stuff, it doesn't guarantee he's right. No, he wouldn't be sitting here with me if that was the case. But you listen. You definitely listen to that. So, I don't know. I mean, if they did that, what can we even do about it?
What can we do about it? What do you mean? Like an occupation?
I mean, do you take military operation?
Or are you talking about, well, yeah. I mean, I don't think the United States would preemptively respond to intelligence that China had, like imminent threat of occupation. I don't think they do that. I don't know. I mean, but like you just said, Nancy Pelosi just flew a fucking airplane over to China and Taiwan and obviously in Chinese airspace, which I think that's everywhere apparently.
Paul, unload the NVIDIA.
Yeah,
they're behind.
So I don't know. I don't know what the reaction would be. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, Japan couldn't get it done. I don't think China's going to get it done. I think it's. I think they're.
Well, Japan doesn't. China. Someone was telling me though, China's got some of the same problems Japan does now. They're just a lot bigger. But
what do you mean?
Japan, they're just not fucking.
Well, I saw an interesting an article about there was another scare, which is interesting because there are like you got the China virus, whatever, which is also why I don't necessarily think that China cultivated a virus to use as a biological weapon because of this reason. They have another pandemic that started in what we would consider a space that you would drive past on 95. You'd see it. You'd probably drive past it. It'd take you about 15 seconds. It houses like 1 million fucking workers. Like it's just something absurd. So they had another outbreak.
When was this?
This was probably within the last 2 or 3 weeks. And the people and the actual workers of the facility were so fucking scared that they were going to lock them into these already shithole places. They left. They bailed, and they literally threw all of their shit instead of going in and dragging stuff out. Through the hallways. Down the elevators, out the doors. They literally tossed the shit out the window. And it just is now, I don't know how long it's going to take China to figure this out.
Yeah, I'll put it in the corner of the screen. This was 4 days ago. This is outside in Guangzhou. This is where, I believe this is the town in the South China coast where they make all these chips. And this is all of them moving past the barricades trying to go home. And that's another, this is an interesting topic. Let's talk about this. But when you look at, their threat level, and you're saying, like, I want to dig into that because you're playing it down more, and I've heard some people actually talking like you are now, which sounds great to me because if a threat is less, like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, I always think about it this way. Like, David Satter points out, it only took 15% of the population in the Soviet Union to take down the government.
Right.
That when they got to that threshold, boom, wall comes down, fuck you, we're done.
Yep.
Now, they screwed up the rebuild, obviously, but
Right.
the Soviet Union was ended. In China, only 6.9% of the population is a member of the Communist
Oh,
Party.
I know. Yeah.
That's a lot. Now, there's a lot of very poor people who they torture, and I always say this: you got to separate the government from the people.
Right.
Two very different. Even the party from the people. Two very different things. And I see people right there who are human fucking beings who don't like being locked up and told what to do. And at some point, I'm like, we got intelligence on the ground there. I fucking halfway confirmed it a few months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Dude, that shit gave me chills. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, let's go. We have a chance here to get probably one of the most industrious group of people. And I'm not talking about, like, again, I don't constitute industrious individual to locked up in a fucking, a Nike factory with a net, next to your window so you don't kill yourself because you're too much of a fucking asset as, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, that's good to see. I mean, they're not brainwashed. They're not. No. I don't think they have been.
Even the ones that are, there's a humanity to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but they're poor. They're poor. They're destitute. They travel. You know how large China is, obviously, and how many major cities they have. I mean, I think they outpaced us by like 10 to 12. This is like almost an Office quote. I think Michael Scott got this quote correct, and I'm actually going to get it wrong. But they're fucking. I mean, they obviously have. They're major cities outpaced us. They got like 20 Detroits. It's like
a lot more than that. But
yeah, exactly. So listen, I'm happy to see that, but at the end of the day, I know who has the button, and it's that 6.9%. And you got to be careful. You don't want to run the conflict with China.
I mean, they own, so that's the thing. Like, I've been really reassured in the past 6 months or so, talking with different people off the record from the military, talking about how shitty their military still is. Like, that's great. But they have bought economic influence fucking everywhere, bro. Like, they own effectively through debt all these poor countries around the world that have no ability to pay it back. And you see it projecting itself. Like, you remember the videos from the beginning of the pandemic of people who would, like, turn off the camera when you mentioned Taiwan, and they're, like, from fucking Canada. Yeah. I mean, this is real shit. So that influence is, like, where does that go to? And, I look, it's also important to remember this. I'm always thinking about, like, okay, this is the one at least some people see. And they're talking about it because they got fucking 1.3 billion people there. But, like, where are we not looking? When you see these things, like I did a solo podcast on that Nord Stream pipeline and everything right after it happened. Like, my opinions on that, and I was very light with my opinions in that episode, but my opinions since that have changed completely because I'm like, I mentioned it could have been 4 different people. Could have been Russia, could have been Ukraine, could have been the U.S., could have been, I think I threw China out there as a 4th. But, like, now there's other places where I'm like, what if they're, like, trying to sow the dissent or whatever? And I don't know why, and I have no proof whatsoever. But there's all kinds of, like, deflection campaigns. Like, they tried to make Trump all about Russia, right? Like, every president that's been in there, at least in the last 6 decades, some country has some dirt on him that does something, right? And they tried to make it with him so public that, like, it was Russia. We saw those investigations prove nothing, and I never thought it was that. Even if Russia causes a lot of problems here, they certainly do, but, like, I never thought it was them. But who was it, right? Who was it with Bush? Who was it with Obama? Who is it with Biden? People could speculate on that, and it's like, well, what is that? How does that impact policy, and how much is it, like, the place that we don't see versus the place we're talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. You were riled up with Trump, man. I don't know what happened. What did he do? Piss in your cereal? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
To be fair to Trump, like, I think it's all of them. I think every president has had some dirt on them with someone, and I don't think it goes as deep as, like, they tried to say, for example, with Russia on Trump. I think that was crazy.
Well, what do you constitute dirt? Deal gone wrong, using migrant labor, having, you look at like what's going on in Qatar, like, Qatar, you got like, is it 35 people who died? Or is it 100 people? I mean, is that the dirt you're talking about? You're talking about, again, that global conspiracy of, somehow, putting, Trump in a position to become president and then getting some benefit.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't buy that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think for anything people want to say about Donald Trump, I don't think there was any difference in leverage on him than any other president around him in the 4-5 decades around him.
Yeah, I think, I agree. I think it's even less because by nature, this is a guy that obviously does not bend the pressure. He also is his own person. He's going to make his own decisions.
That's definitely true.
But there probably is a certain level where if he had the right person knocking on the right door, he probably would, cave a little bit. I'm sure. We're all human. But it's interesting. Yeah, but the bombing of the pipeline, you brought that up. I thought that was a open shut case. Was it not?
How so?
Well, I thought that was already. NBC, CNN, I thought they all said it was Russia, wasn't it, or was it not?
Yeah, you had two sides right away. They said Russia and the U.S.,
right.
And the more days that went on, the more I firmly believed it was neither.
Okay.
So, I don't know, though. It's wild to me how much that story went out like a light in a week.
Yeah, it fizzled. I was just thinking for a second of a comparable story, but I lost it. Oh, it was again going back to that the Polish farmer story. I'm telling you, I went home, I heard about it, and mentally I geared up for you're gonna have it wouldn't be Joe, but you'd have someone come out, say Russia just bombed Poland, created into a huge spectacle, and the knee-jerk reaction from the current administration was that no, we need some digging here. Which I think, at the end of the day, number one, should embolden Putin because their initial reaction was that this is something we need to look at. They knew it wasn't. All you had to do was look at the fucking serial number on the fucking bomb. I mean, it wasn't that much mystery about it. So I think they knew right away it was Ukraine. It was, it
was an accident.
Shatinsky, Walensky, whatever his name is. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, fuck, all right, let's make sure we don't just find ourselves in a war now with Russia. Because at this point, I think they're looking at it as a political win. The dust is slowly settling, at least on the U.S. involvement with this conflict. And Biden's going to walk out of it with a win. And I don't think that's necessarily fair. But I don't think that's fair. I don't think
Why?
Because what victory is he rallying behind? You lost countless lives in Ukraine. You have now apparently an aging, sick man who's now even more desperate. You have an economy in the United States that just dumped billions of dollars into Ukraine, which, again, at any moment they could find themselves in the same or similar conflict. I mean, what did we benefit from any of this? You were going to lose the same amount of lives, and you lost them, and they're gone, and it's fucked up. So where did we benefit as Americans? All I had was people positioning themselves in their ideology with Putin, which I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? I have people over here in Philly. My neighbor puts a Ukrainian flag out. I'm like, dude, you just had a fucking Irish flag out the day before. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, was there a conflict in Ireland that I missed? No, it's because it's a fucking your virtue signal. All right, I care about Ukraine. Yes. Okay, yeah, we don't want to see people die. I mean, holy shit, man!
Right.
You feel bad. It's our generation. I mean, we don't want anyone to get hurt. We just want to fucking make money and smoke weed, and I don't do one of those things, but
allegedly,
yeah, trying to increase my income. But anyway,
wait, so what's up with weed?
Yeah,
we'll work on that.
But
that's why.
But anyway, yeah, I don't have an answer to it, but it's just the shit needs to end. I don't think we should send another fucking dime, and that's the end of the story.
Well, did you see what they did to the Progressive House Caucus with that?
No.
Oh, you didn't see this?
No.
So, Progressive House Caucus, farthest left part of the Congress. Yeah,
the white suits.
The what?
You talking about the white suits?
Who the fuck are the white suits?
Remember the white suits? Every time Trump had a State of the Union address, he had the white suits.
Like AOC and shit?
Yeah, the white suits.
That was a thing?
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
White suits are swag. Why did I not notice that?
Yeah, but when all the same people are wearing the same color suit and they're the
creepy.
same type of person, it's not swag.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
You're
not.
right.
It's not.
Right.
I'm sorry.
They might have ruined. I don't want to see that. I feel like they'd ruin it.
Yeah, they did.
I don't want to see it now.
But
yeah,
anyway.
so it's like Rashida Tlaib,
Yeah,
Jamie
it's the
Raskin.
white suits, yeah.
Right. So this group wrote a letter to the it's supposed to be to Biden.
Yeah.
And it gets released, and it says
Well,
like
they write it on a fucking leaf.
no,
you know?
they wrote it was a page and a half long. It's online. I'm not gonna read it right now, but you can go Google it right now and read it. And they basically wrote, hey, we support Ukraine. Obviously, like this shit's wild. Like fuck Putin, whatever. But we've given them whatever $100 billion, whatever it is, a lot of money, and there's intelligence to suggest that possibly Russia could be open to having conversations that would lead to peace. That also gets Ukraine a W. Maybe not a full W, like Russia still exists and is a country and everything, but it gets them a W where they keep their land, draw the lines back to February 1st, and they can say, oh, we beat off Mother Russia, right?
Right.
And this gets put out a day later, a report comes out that says, oh, a staffer leaked it. No, we actually never really wrote that. It doesn't really matter, which means that, somebody went and tapped on their shoulder and said, yeah, you're going to put that shit back. And so you see that there is this coordinated effort to pull back any attempts at peace, including coming from what is, in this case, great liberal ideology right there to say like, hey, we're looking out for Ukraine, but we're looking out for the world here too, because you're dealing with the biggest nuclear arms weaponry that exists.
Right. Here's the pulse again. Figure on the pulse. So you have obviously it's Ukraine fever, and it died down. Why did it die down? Well, part of it, I think, you're approaching the holidays. You had some pretty intense elections, extremely important U.S. elections, as you know, we talked about earlier, and all of a sudden, Ukraine was not really even a topic of conversation, even with CNN. I mean, even Humpty Dumpty was like, forgot where the map was for a second. And then you have
not on there anymore.
And I know, yeah, I know. Well, I know he didn't meet too. We know that, but he, but then all of a sudden you have this bombing, and I feel like it's all kind of a strategic media blitz where you have Russia just bombed Poland. Like, what the fuck? And not to mention you have the World Cup too, bringing the international players. And now all of a sudden they're looking at it and saying, all right, well, what's the reaction of the people? Yeah, it fizzled out quickly. It's gone. I think this shit ends now. I think they did a last-ditch attempt. I mean, all but, actually dropping a fucking, SAR bomb or nuclear bomb on Ukraine is going to silence this media blitz. The people don't give a shit anymore, especially the American people. I think this shit's...
if that happened, bro, it's a world war.
Well, I agree with you, but I don't think they're going there. I think they wanted to test I think they wanted to test the pulse on what type of reaction they would get. Is it a hot topic? Is it something people are buying into? Will it stir up local politicians? Will it stir up the big companies, the oracles of the world? Will it get the juices flowing? It's not anymore. It's done. I guarantee you it's done. I give you 3 months from now, start of the new year, Ukraine, maybe there's a peace deal, maybe there's not, maybe Putin dies, not going to matter, transition of power. They're teeing up to move the fuck on. So what the next thing is, I don't know, but I think this is going to be cyclical. I think you're going to have it reoccurring. I don't think you ultimately have the red button pressed. I don't see that.
You're right, yeah.
But I think it's a cyclical attempt to get as much money as you can, redistribute wealth among all the main players, and then turn the page and go on to the next major conflict. I think this is exactly what I was saying since fucking we started talking before I started drinking.
All right, hold on. I got to go to the bathroom. We'll be right back. Because I nuke it because I assume it's going to cool off before we start.
It's now the temperature of the Dunkin' Donuts off of JFK.
All right, good. All right, well, we're back. We stopped to go to the bathroom real fast. But you were saying earlier, speaking of when we started drinking, you were saying that there was that other TikTok case. Are you talking about the Darrell Brooks case?
Yeah.
And all right, what happened there again?
Yeah, so he, you apparently are not allowed to say it's him, but a man.
What do you mean you're not allowed?
Well, I'll get to it. Okay. So, no, Darrell Brooks, he had some sort of altercation. I don't know if it was the day before or the night before, or like the early morning hours of the day where this all went down, but gets an altercation. He has a history of domestic violence. Like, this guy's a real piece of shit. So he's just off his rocker and decides to drive his car through a parade. And
when was this?
This was, I guess it was either 2021 or 2020. And it was a Christmas parade, and the big part, the death toll really came because there was an element of the parade that was called like the dancing grannies. It's a funny name, but the whole thing was really fucked up. So you had a bunch of women in, like, I guess I don't know if there was an age cutoff, but 65 and up, and they did a performance for in the parade. And he ran down dozens of people, multiple fatalities, and the guy ends up, despite months and months of the judge urging him to get an attorney, use a public defender, making sure that he understood what he was about to do. He's waiving his right to an attorney, decides to represent himself. And for a second, he thought he was the smartest lawyer on earth. And it was it was probably the most. I don't know how the judge in that case actually held her composure the way she did. She kind of laid into him at the end when we were dealing with sentencing, but it was like just the biggest fucking joke. So the guy was like one of the, or at least for that trial, he was one of the sovereign citizens. So he didn't acknowledge the fact like that people were referring to him as Darrell Brooks. So that was not his name. It was his government name.
And his government name.
Well, I guess the sovereign citizens, at least an element of them, believe that like the names they're given at birth are not their names. So I mean, this is the type of shit you're talking about. But when you're watching it,
God bless the internet.
When you're watching it on TikTok and you're getting updates, I mean, it was incredible. They had to actually kick him out of the courtroom, which in our democracy seems so shocking. Because you're removing a litigant out of a courtroom, especially in a criminal trial. But the guy was so belligerent, so disrespectful, and to the very end, all the guy cared about was taking shots at the people that he perceived to be, inept, including the prosecutor who was there, I think, in that county for over 20 years. Who did a really nice job with him because, I mean, the guy was such a piece of shit. But naturally, he gets sentenced. I mean, it was probably, like, in terms of the length of years, it was like something out of Austin Powers when, Dr. Evil gets sentenced to, like, 1 billion years. It was that, huge of a sentence for each count. And, but the guy was, like, he was such a genuine piece of shit. But I watched every moment of it. And that was the kind of the power of where we're at with TikTok as the largest search engine that exists right now. That's what it is.
How long did that trial go on?
It had to be weeks and weeks. I don't know how long jury selection was. You obviously didn't see that. That wasn't on TikTok, but I'd imagine, the whole process in terms of jury selection to sentencing, it's well over a month, and that's not that foreign for this type of case, but it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I saw like a few, I didn't follow it at all like you did, but I saw a few videos of him going back and forth with the judge, and like, I know it's, when the person is in the defense seat, it's their decision how everything goes, like that is what it is, but, not to, I hate when we write off things just to do it on like, oh, mental health for everything, right? Like, this guy's a sick fuck, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, let's not twist words here. But like, when I can't help but thinking when you watch something like that, that person belongs in a mental hospital for a very long time because he had zero capacity for any understanding of his surroundings. Like, he couldn't even, like, he would you want to talk about like disrespecting the judge? It was to the point where I thought it was a medical problem. Like, I'm like, this person should never have been in society. Like, they needed help and I'm just some fucking armchair quarterback watching it. But like, I looked at this, I'm like, of course this person was going to do something like this. Like, how the fuck did we not catch this as a society? That's a complicated, like, little silo to go down, but he did not strike me. You could say pretty much any killer has some level of craze to him. Let's be fair. But he really struck me as like out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many criminal, I don't know how many accused would act differently if they had the opportunity to represent themselves. I think a lot of, Yeah, for him, it was kind of an education, also cultural. I mean, the guy thought, obviously, that he was at times the smartest man in the room when even lay people who aren't in the legal world knew that this guy knew no clue what the fuck he was talking about. I mean, to any credit I can give the guy, and there's not a lot there. I mean, the guy obviously did some research. He'll do a lot of research, I guess, while he studies his appeal in the Quran in jail. But he will, obviously, continue this legal career of his, or at least the way that he perceives it. But, I don't know. Well, he definitely wasn't legally insane. Okay, he doesn't fit that criteria.
And he didn't argue it.
No, he didn't. And there's not necessarily a neutral third party that steps in and makes a determination. I mean, again, if he was criminally insane, which I'm not sure that he's going to fit the definition in most jurisdictions, and again, I don't think that's going to, not in this jurisdiction either. But anyway, I think it was more of a cultural problem for him. I mean, he just, again, I've met people like him, not killers, but people that seem to think that they're able to, do a little amount of research, do a little bit amount of prep for something that, honestly, as you could tell from the prosecution, took an entire career to prosecute this guy, even how guilty as he was, to do it effectively. And he wasn't prepared, but you know what? It's his right to do it. I mean, that's what it boils down to. It is his right to do it. He did it. And boy, did he probably make a huge mistake. But
did he get sentenced too?
He did. He was sentenced. Yeah, it was like one of the. I mean, it was like there was like 35 plus charges. Yeah. And it's like 20,000 a year or something like that. They don't have the death penalty. So
yeah. Which I'm cool with, because we mess up a sobering percentage of those. Not that we know he did it, but I'm saying, like, for the system, like, I don't believe in the death penalty because there's too many that we.
Yeah, and there's so much money to be made out of the prison system, so I think we should keep him in there. No, I'm kidding, but I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see the benefit of the death penalty. But although you look at the Florida shooter, which is another, again, didn't watch it on any type.
The Florida shooter.
Yeah, the guy that was in Parkland.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro. I'm sorry, I gotta say this.
Yeah.
Did you see the judge in that case?
Yeah. What about her?
It's the hottest judge I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
Bro.
Yeah.
The hottest judge I've ever seen in my life. Like, I didn't know they made judges like that. When she was sentencing him, like, you were sentenced to life in prison. I'm like, fuck yeah, sister. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, girl. You say what's up. You say what's up to that motherfucker.
So that was another TikTok trial, and you get to, you get to see shit you don't always see, and stuff that blows my mind, because I know I've been in a position of trial where I just want to literally, like, strangle the defense attorney for just, and even like you saw in what's his name, Alex Jones. I don't use the word liar at trial. I don't, and a lot of judges, and at least in court of common pleas in almost every county surrounding Philadelphia, including Philadelphia, you don't go in and say someone's a liar. I mean, that's just like, it's just kind of etiquette. You prove it. You give the jury an opportunity to put two and two together. So, like, a lot of shit I see on TV, a lot of the higher profile cases, emotions are high. But, like, in Parkland, you had one of the public defenders actually flipped off either the judge or one of the people giving the witness impact statements. Because at the end of the trial, you're able to give the way they held it. The
public defender did that?
Yeah, one of the public defenders. So she was the judge in open court, criticized her, obviously, and then there became a major blowout where you had another one of the public defenders who slid into the role. I mean, they must have had 10 different public defenders in this county working with this guy. Then another one was, I guess, directly attacked by one of the family members who was given a witness impact statement and made a comment about his children, like, what if it was your children? And he basically lost his mind, and he actually looked at the judge, and at that point, the judge already saw another public defender flip off judge / individual giving the witness impact statement, and then you have this other public defender say, well, Your Honor, what if it was your kids? And she lost her fucking mind. She lost all composure. You mentioned earlier in the Alex Jones trial, and even the trial with, the guy from, Darrell, whatever his name is. She loses her fucking mind. I don't know if you have it. Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I have the middle finger video.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is like 90 seconds. Let's see.
Okay, exactly what is it?
Judge, before Mr. Schachter took the podium to testify before this court, I wanted to, the record reflect that both Mr. Marcus and Mr. Satz looked at the statement prior to the reading. And so their implicit adoption of what he was saying, of this improper arguments, the court should.
Okay, but what you are doing right now is highlighting something and making more of a spectacle. So if your office in general does not want to facilitate or incite violence, then we need to just sit down and move on. That's it. There were 18 witnesses, 16 or 18 witnesses that testified today. There was nothing that was said until Ms. McNeil made her.
She can sentence me or whatever she wants.
We're moving on.
But is the court going to do anything about
So wait, is she gonna middle finger her?
stopping it from happening again?
When these people are upset about specific things that have gone on from that table, like shooting the middle finger up at this court and laughing and joking, Ms. McNeil, be quiet.
That's the guy that blew away kids.
Yeah. This is one of the scummiest.
Watch this behavior from that table, and they want to say that they're not happy about it.
I love her work.
What is the problem?
Well, pause this
I
real
have no
quick.
problem because I have thick skin.
All right, so let's
judge.
So let's talk
Great
about
judge.
from my lens of being an attorney. You know who sits at those tables with those type of criminals? I'm not knocking the profession generally, but it attracts the farthest left. I mean, look at this fucking table. I mean, look at look at this table.
How do you decide that by looking?
Dude, I don't.
That guy looks like a stone cold Republican to me right there. Dude standing up.
All right. Oh well, maybe everyone but him.
What about the dude in the glasses? He's
one?
got the slick back hair. He's looking nice.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah. I mean, no.
It's a skinny tie for a Republican. That's a skinny tie.
It's just like the thing is.
But hold on, before you say that,
Yeah.
you know who I fuck with in this picture? Is these two motherfuckers.
Yo, dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Did you see the
You know what I'm
security
fucking
guard?
saying?
Look at this dude. That dude right there was killing me.
I don't know if he's a security guard, but you know.
Dude, I love watching like the bailiffs and like the sheriffs in these cases just mean mugging these motherfuckers. Like, how dare you say that shit?
Yeah, exactly.
You know they got the judge's back right there. They're ready for action. Like, I feel safe around that guy.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's on the ball, right? Yeah.
Unless
like you're sitting here with a school shooter. This kid's a sociopathic psycho. That dude, no shooting's happening.
Unless they have to, like, I could imagine, like, I've been in front of some really interesting judges with very unique personalities where you would think at any given moment you can say something, you can drop, but you don't act that way. It's unprofessional.
I'm with you. I thought that's terrible. Was she removed from the case for doing that?
I don't know. They were like shuffling people in and out, but I guess the main, if you want to call him, the big wig public defender, with that enormous salary of his, he eventually came in and actually interjected because it was this attorney who's the one I was telling you who said,
Republican.
It's the Republican public defender. He at one point came in and said during the witness impact, what if it was your kids? And he goes, Your Honor, what if it was your kids? And she lost her shit. And at this point, her tolerance level was zero, and I get it.
Good for her. This kid.
But anyway, the big wig guy, African American guy, came in from the back of the gallery where traditionally you'll have the family members, and in this case it was family members and other people, but. He came up and said, Your Honor, who he must have a relationship with based upon the dialogue. He was like, what are you doing? Type of deal. But again, this is an open court, I think. I don't think they had, told the court reporter either off the record or that they excused, at this point, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, he goes and says, Your Honor, as if he just hung out with her, what are you doing? And she's like, you know what? Sit back down. Your staff is so unprofessional. Yeah. And to her credit, she was spot the fuck on. So you now have two examples, well, three if you count Alex Jones, of judges who kind of, they're like different evolutions of attractive, but they're all like white women with dark hair. And they all did a really good job. So I don't know what that means, for any of this. But anyway,
I have no idea where you're going with that.
I don't know either.
Fair point.
Yeah, but anyway.
Still. But you, speaking of interesting judges, you just did a case in front of the notorious Janice Brinkley. No?
Yeah. Yep.
Tell people who she is.
Well, who I met, or what the accusations are?
No. Who Janice Brinkley
All right,
is.
so Janice Brinkley is a judge that was involved in Meek Mill's probation.
She was the judge that was involved in that.
The allegation is that, she was the judge in Meek Mill getting that 10-year sentence for probation violation.
And then getting thrown in over and over again.
Yeah, so I tried a case in front of her. She's now in civil. I don't know how long she's going to be in civil. She might go back to criminal. I have no idea.
Hopefully not.
I've never seen her in criminal court. I'm not a criminal attorney. I can't weigh in on any of that. But I was in front of her. It was an easy trial. It went in smoothly.
What was the trial?
I'm not touching that. But it was a motor vehicle accident. Okay. It was a civil case, But the allegations against her, because every judge I get a trial with, I research immediately. I try to look up political ideology. I try to look up significant opinions, if any, that they have. I ask around. So the first step of my analysis is Google search, and I, honest to God, did not know Janice Brinkley. I had not heard the name, didn't know who she was. Googled her immediately. It comes up with just
my podcast with Brian McMonagle.
I didn't know. I didn't have. You have Brian McMonagle on?
Son of a bitch! You haven't seen that?
Oh,
you of all people actually should.
We should
see
do
it.
one. I will watch it. I didn't watch that.
Yeah, he was in here.
Yeah,
he put her in her fucking place, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude. He came in and Meek Mill got taken care of.
Yeah. Well, I never met Brian, but I did meet in law school Fortunata Perry, who obviously worked with McGonigal. So Fortunata's a really great trial attorney. He actually said some shit to me within a 20-minute window during a spring elective in law school with former Judge Panapinto out of Court of Common Pleas, Philadelphia County. So I met Fortunata, and he said some stuff to me. I won't say out loud or even tell him what he said that made me that I use now to this day. I still use the same shit he said. But I will tell you one thing he said before I go too far off track. A lot of lawyers come in and say, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you to the jury. Thank you for coming." He looks at me and goes, "Who the fuck cares?" He's like, "Why the fuck do they care about you thanking them? They got to sit here and listen to your dumb ass for a week, 3 days. You don't fucking thank them." He's like, "Tell them what the case is about. Don't waste a breath of your time thanking these people who give two shits about you." And to this day, I don't do it. And you see the same lawyer, "Oh, thank you. It doesn't matter. They have to be there. They get paid nothing. It doesn't even. It's funny. They don't even get paid. They get like this little stipend. It doesn't even pay for an hour of parking in Philly. It's like, what the fuck are these? These people are fucked.
Well, they get their parking validated, but still.
No, they don't. They don't get the parking.
They don't get it validated for being on a jury
in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's some bullshit. That's a baby bag bullshit.
Same thing
right
I
there.
did. You know what I did? I threw mine in the fucking trash. Never cashed it. But anyway, the trial you're talking about, the accusation is, and it's an accusation I don't support either side. It doesn't fucking really affect me, and I'm not making any legal opinions about the accusations or the defense of Brinkley. But the accusation is that she sentences Meek Mill to prison time for probation violation based upon the fact that she actually went to one of the. It was either a soup kitchen or some sort of charitable organization where Meek Mill was supposed to appear in person and actually spend a few hours there as a part of his probation. She went, didn't tell anyone she was going, didn't see him, dragged him into court, evidently, this is all allegation, and then sentenced him. After that, now Meek Mill's team, I think there's a pending lawsuit. I'm not sure. There's at very least an ethics complaint. Apparently, this judge went to his manager and told the manager that there's two things that he needs to do for her to basically alter the sentence. And it was, number one, he had to drop her name in a hit song.
Yeah.
And two, Meek Mill had to drop his record label from what I understand has been his record label since he's become Meek Mill. and join or sign with her brother-in-law's record label. That's the accusation. She and her team deny it vehemently. They say, no.
There was another one that she asked for an autograph for people, and he was like, fuck you.
I never heard that.
And that one I think Brian was trying to say no to, but that was another.
Right. But that was the accusation. Again, I have no idea where that stands, but I was in front of her, and, listen, we didn't talk about it, obviously. That was not ever like a topic of conversation.
You didn't walk up and say, how about that Meek Mill case?
Yeah, no, but but it was kind of cool. I mean, in the sense that, like, not that she had to deal with the accusations and not that Meek Mill had to allege this stuff, but it was kind of cool to see a judge that was that high profile. May never see a judge that high profile ever again in my life. And the funniest part about the whole thing was I didn't know who it was until I Googled her name.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that case, but the way they kept it, I don't know. I don't want to comment specifically on that soup kitchen story because if I was aware of that one, I don't remember it, so I'd have to go and look through it. But there was all kinds of little violations here and there that had to do mostly with like going on the road to tour that she would bring him in on, and this was over a long period of time. And he did prison time at the beginning when he was like 18. He was never supposed to, like, there was like a deal that all the other guys involved, none of them did prison time. And then I might even be wrong about this, but I'm not sure that she was the judge who did the sentence. Which is technically in her defense there for sure. I mean, I believe it was a different judge, and then she was reassigned to the case. Yes. So she oversaw, and if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but she at least oversaw the probation and kept on causing a problem. And then she went to throw him in jail for like 2 to 4.
I thought it was 10, but 2 to 4.
No, I'm saying like she went to actually put him in prison for like 2 to 4 for like the latest violation or whatever after these purported things. Yeah. And, he got out because of the support he had. And as Brian put it, if his name was, Tom Smith, sadly, he'd just be getting out now. Yeah. After the sentence was over, which is not to say that it's in any way okay. It's just to say, like, that's how fucked up some of the system is, because they put these, what they call tails on people that, especially if you're like a rapper on the road and making it big and stuff like that. Like, in that case, it's on steroids. It's like, you can't. This is not going to work out. And like his probation officer and the DA were writing to the court saying, no, we're good. You don't need to put it, like, we don't care at all. Like, he's doing great. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I don't care if he was around weight or something. Like, all right, do a hearing, call it a day. And she's like, no, we're putting him in prison. Yeah, scum shit.
I don't know how much when I did my limited research, because obviously I was preparing for a trial, so I wasn't super focused on Judge Brinkley. So, from what I saw, it was all in connection with the probation violation of not actually, participating in the community service hours. It may have also been weed. I don't know. I also heard
there were a bunch of things.
Yeah. So and I also heard. I remember something they had a firearm on him. There was all shit that I heard.
There was no firearm. I don't believe so.
I know. I'm not saying any of this shit. I'm not saying that any of this is true. But I remember reading at least articles about all these different things. But listen, at the end of the day, I kind of got the impression. Forget about legal rulings. Forget about the verdict in my case, which I'll never tell you. But I got the impression that
we'll Google it.
I don't know if you can. It wasn't that high profile. But
no Fear of the Spirit commercials in the courtroom.
No. I never really got the impression that she was, I guess, more interested in like that, Meek Mill, that fame, that type of element. It was a pretty normal trial. And I've been in front of judges who have had massive fucking egos. I mean, massive egos.
Someone in a robe called Your Honor has an ego? No.
Yeah, well, listen, I know what you mean. Yeah. I get what you're saying. But you'd be surprised, how much humility you find with these robed guys and girls and whatever.
Some of them for sure.
Yeah. But I did not get the impression at all from this particular judge that was she was. I guess egotistical. I she was there for the litigants, and like I said, listen, I'll even allude to the fact that it didn't necessarily go my way, the trial, but I never got the impression that she had an ego.
Was it a bench trial?
No, jury trial. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we did 8.
Is that a thing in civil? You do 8?
Well, it depends what jurisdiction you're in. But yeah,
Interesting.
You could do
I didn't
8.
even know that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But anyway, so at the end of the day, it was just fucking crazy. So, and who do I tap on the shoulder to tell about my crazy shit in the legal world? Is my dad, and he's like, who? He has no fucking idea. Although
what do you mean, Mike?
Yeah.
Who's Meek Mill?
Mikey. So
I call you Mikey at work.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, come on. Did you read my? Did you read my review to him? Does he know about the review?
Yeah, it's framed in my house.
Oh, it's framed in your house.
Remy framed your review.
I wish I spent more time on it. I spent like 7 minutes.
Well, if it makes you feel better, she didn't get the whole review in the frame.
Wait, we gotta.
She didn't measure.
It makes you feel better. It's cut off?
Yeah, it's cut off.
At the
Yeah.
bottom?
I'll show you later. Yeah. It's cut off at the bottom.
I gotta find that. I'm gonna have you read it.
I asked. I asked a couple of friends to get me reviews. But.
What's it? Spear Greenfield?
What do you mean? The website?
No, the business.
Well, are you trying to get on the website? Or are you trying to get on? Oh, Spirit Greenfield, I think. Yeah, right now.
Google review.
Yeah.
I remember this. I put the picture of you from episode 39 in there too. That was a good touch.
Yeah, the guy, our in-house marketing guy at the time, thought he came in after you posted it, and he sat down with me. He's like, "Dude, do you have someone who's legitimately?" He used the word trolling you, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We saw a post, came through Google business reviews, and it seems like this person is trolling you. I don't think you know him, but let me just tell you, his name is Julian Dorey." And I was like, no, not only do I've already seen the post. I was like, let's not report that one. And
you don't have a choice on that, though.
It's got me no business at all.
It's got you no business. That
None.
shit has some likes on it. But now, why can't I find it? I feel like that's a fucking.
We got to scroll through it. I'll show you later.
We need to show me later.
It was like so. I had asked him. Oh, here we go. I asked him. I asked a couple friends to write a couple nice reviews.
I gotta go.
I was a new lawyer and I wanted some reviews, and then this shit came.
Yeah, I was like, say less, fam.
Pull it up.
I'm trying to find it.
Bad.
Yeah.
Me would have been like nice lawyer. Period. I like Mike.
I put this picture in there too, right there at the bottom. Remember this bad boy? That was from episode 39. So we put a good touch. I'll put this in the corner of the screen for people. Oh shit! Do I gotta scroll through this again?
Tomato in there.
Hold on, I gotta scroll down and find it. This was like a year ago.
I love how the review from the owner. It's like your mix of humor. I didn't fucking write that shit. Barry wrote that.
Who the fuck is Barry?
He was a guy. He was actually a contractor. He wasn't even our in-house marketing guy.
What?
A couple
All right.
friends, right? A couple nice words.
Do you see it? I might have just passed it. Let me know when you see it.
A lot of 5-star reviews, folks.
There are a lot of. Oh, here we go.
There he is.
All right, here we go. See, it's got likes on it too. Love that.
How many likes?
2.
There you go.
Yeah.
It starts with "I'm not a religious man."
All right, here we go. Wait, why does it keep? All right, here we go. The review. I'm not a religious man. Truthfully, I don't know what to think about, quote, what's going on up there, unquote. However, I do believe that a higher power exists, and that higher power's name is Michael G. Spear. Many lawyers talk. Mike Spear in his extremely intimidating, heavy-footed, 6'4", 315-pound frame walk. Never before has our nation seen one lawyer take over a courtroom from the moment they placed their Starbucks iced caramel macchiato with almond milk on the plaintiff's table. Word on the street is that many judges even refer to Mike in the courtroom as Your Honor. Whether it's out of fear, respect, or both doesn't matter. Mike Spear is the king of the people's court and a god in front of any jury. If you need to win like your life depends on it and you don't hire him, you should go ahead and sue yourself for damages.
With the picture. Your boss thought someone was trolling you?
I don't. Well, hold on, wait. I don't have a fucking boss. But yeah,
your dad, I mean.
No, my papa.
Yeah,
No.
I wish I like.
No, it was,
I wasn't
it was
thinking
this
about-
guy. He was like a kind of a dorky guy, and he comes in. He goes, "I think someone's trolling you." And I'm like, "Who?" I'm like, "Who? What was the post?" He goes, "Oh, it was long. It was just Julian Dorey." I'm like, oh,
God damn it.
and my girlfriend framed it. But the frame is this big. It doesn't make sense.
Is the picture in the frame too?
No. She didn't even get half the.
Wait, you didn't even get the picture?
It's all
Remy,
fucked
come
up.
on.
I know.
You got to get the That picture is legendary. That's one of my favorite screenshots from this studio ever taken.
That's why I hate doing
Look
that.
at that.
Every time I go in here, he's like,
Look at that.
I won't reveal trade secrets, but
Look at how good that is. That is good. The finger is pointed directly.
let me just tell you, that wasn't organic.
Can you redo that real
wasn't,
quick?
That wasn't. It was.
That was in the moment. Can you redo that? Like, can you do that better? I don't think so. I didn't think
Was
so.
that the picture for when you had the
tracksuit makes it so much better.
He like turned to it and he was like, Andrew Cuomo is a rapist. Anyway, but yo, before I get you out of here, you talked about it earlier, so I'll throw you a bone here, let you break it down. But what's the dealio? Is this going to be Trump DeSantis on the Republican side for 2024, or are they going to like red carpet Trump to the nomination?
I don't know. I really don't know. Ron DeSanctimonious is what they're going with, which is not great.
It's losing his
I don't know.
fastball.
I mean, listen, I my whole thing, and I tell some of the more conservative friends that aren't in this room, you know, well, I don't think DeSantis is electable on a national level. I just don't. Not yet, at least.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think there's been for a few years now. It could be very pointed or targeted type of satire. I don't know, but they look at Florida as the Wild Wild West now, and a unique area with its well. Hold on, I don't know. I mean,
6 million votes.
Yeah,
It always has been.
No, listen, what he did may never happen again in Florida, and what's even more impressive is most voters probably also accept the fact that he would not be their governor. He would not be. He would be running for president. I apologize. So they knew he wasn't actually going to be there for a full term length, or at least it was a possibility. And he was actually asked during a debate, tell the Florida people, whatever his name is, I don't know, came from New York, he retired, went to Florida, he ran for politics, I don't remember his name. The guy who ran against DeSantis.
Charlie Crist?
I'm making the whole first part up, but yeah, Charlie Crist, a Democrat. So he even said during the debate, he goes, tell the people of Florida that you will advocate for them in this position for your full term length. And he didn't answer.
Right.
But with that aside, I don't know that he's electable on a national level. But I have concerns about Trump too. I think the most likely scenario at this point is you're going to have one more year. It might depend, but I think you're going to have one more year of Trump. I think they're going to push him. DeSantis may run as vice. Because at the end of the day, it's one term. So you'll have two, which is traditionally what you'll see is you'll have two Democratic terms back to back. I think the Republicans kind of hedge and say, you know what, let's see what this Trump thing gets us. If we win, great. We just shut Biden down to one term, just like we got shut out with the Trump presidency. And then we'll recycle next year with Ron DeSantis running as our candidate and potentially have him for another 8 years. So I think that is what's going to happen. I don't think Ron DeSantis will actually be a player in the primaries. I think it's going to be Trump.
Who the fuck else would run?
I
Anyone's
think
running?
you may have one of the most narrow Republican primaries that you've ever seen.
I just don't, that midterm, the fact of the matter is there was so much to go off of, just like even the percentage play, which is that anytime you have a party take power in the executive branch with at least one of the branches behind them at the midterm, we've always seen a reset. That's what it's been.
Yeah.
You saw it when Clinton came into office, that second term, was it the contract with America or whatever?
Yeah.
You saw it when the only time you didn't see it was the one right after 9/11 when Bush, which in hindsight would have been nice to see a little blue wave there with him, but every other election, the midterm, Obama lost 63 seats or some shit like that. He lost a lot of seats. Trump lost, I think, like 65 seats too, something like that. So when you see such a light change, I mean, the Republicans did take control of the House, but they didn't take control of the Senate, and yet there was so much quote unquote momentum headed their way with people pissed off about COVID, the economy, and everything. You know, I don't know how that's going to play. I mean, I would have thought that was kind of like the end of Trump because he was the main player, like the main kingmaker, and then you saw DeSantis. I mean, you want to talk about a red wave in Florida? Holy shit, man! What, he went like 60-40 or something?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any cultural motivation for you to put DeSantis up as your guy. I don't know if we've had.
None of them are my guy.
I don't know if we've had. That's fair.
Who is your guy?
I don't have a guy. No.
And that's what makes Julian. But
Snapchat story the other day. Sorry, you remember when we were in New York and us three and my buddy Stall?
Oh shit! In like 2016, yeah. Turn that mic to Drake.
Yeah. Sorry, we were playing like Impractical Jokers, and we kept going up to people and asking them if they were voting for Trump and shit. Oh, yeah. That was so dude. That came up on my Snapchat story. It was like 6 years ago.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah, we ran into.
Walking
Well,
the
you were
streets
pissing
and we
everywhere.
were doing. We were playing Impractical Jokers. We were like, you have to do this, and if you couldn't do it, you had to buy the beer at the next bar. We were just bar hopping. It was so.
That was
funny.
a weekend.
It was a Snapchat of Connor Stall, and he was literally walking all these people. He's like, who y'all voting for? You voting for Trump? Like, dude, we were like annoying the shit out. Everybody was like, dude, get away from me. Like,
I remember we
that
get
was
on
like the Trump Clinton.
It was like March 2nd or March 3rd, like that weekend in 2016. I remember that shit. And it was like right after Scalia died, like a few weeks later. And I bring you up to North Jersey, which is already like a cultural shock and everything. Yeah. And we go to get on the most crowded train to go into the city.
Yeah, there was a Fish concert that weekend too.
There was.
Yeah.
There was. We did not go for the record.
Yeah.
But we go to get
You're
on the most.
now.
We got on like the fucking 7 o'clock train, or 6:30 train to take in like 20 minutes to go in. You get on the train and you like plop down in the seat. It gets like kind of quiet, but there's a million people on this train, and you're like, oh shit. And like the whole train looks at you, and I'm like, what? And you're like,
khakis.
I forgot my new. You go. I forgot my New York values because you were a big fucking Ted Cruz. Yeah, Ted Cruz had just said those New York values, and the whole place is like, oh fuck you. I'm like, god damn it. But then I did make you walk like 5 miles. I kept telling you it was a mile away.
That was intense. And Tim's.
You were on 2nd and 83rd, right?
2nd and 83rd.
And we walked from Penn Station. And he was in boots.
I remember you saying you guys.
Dude, I can't, dude.
Why?
I couldn't wait, dude.
We walked. Well, I told him it was a mile long, and every mile he'd be like, "How much farther?" I'd be like, another mile."
I was like, dude, I was so excited. I was so excited to get to his place, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna.
We gotta. I don't want the overtalk.
Dude, I was gonna plop down on the couch. And I almost tripped in the front door when I walked in. Almost fell out the fucking window in the back. It was that. I was like, dude. It was like, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is this shit? I'm like, what the fuck? Put my Timberland down. Everyone's like, oh shit, I'll move over.
Your Timberlands were broken. They had holes in them. You were like 3.5 bills
the whole
at the time
way,
too.
The whole way, I had like 5 women be like, oh, well, you just asked me to move over. Julian's up their ass with his fucking Phillies Eagles jacket. Like. I was like, sorry, ladies.
All right, anyway. we gotta go have a night. This was great as always. Nice to have the fucking crew in here. I like this. It's a good vibe. Yeah. Tell us in the comments what you thought of that. But Michael, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Jules.
We will do this again at some point, and you can give me every thought in the world. And I'll always enjoy it. It's always fun. Everybody else, thanks for coming.
Shout out Swan.
How is he up in Alaska?
I talked to him 2 days ago. I was playing video games, and he lives in Alaska, so he's 4 hours behind. So
what a
I'm
wild
drunk
card.
as shit. And I'm just on video games at like 3 in the morning, and he was talking to Hartman, and he was telling some story, and he said Trendify. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, Dorey? And he's like, yeah, dude, I watch it all the time. I love it. He was like, dude, make sure. He's like, next time you see Dorey, make sure you tell him he's got fans in Alaska.
Shout outs. I'd fucking Swan. What the ultimate wild card. Great guy.
He's such a
Pour
nice
one
man.
out for Swan.
Here's the Swan.
Here's the Swan, baby. Everybody else,
I don't got nothing, but
we're going to go have a night.
I'll still cheers you.
Great having you boys in here. Everybody else, you know what it is. Give it a thought. Get back to me. Peace.